Ta-da! Ta-da-da-da!
Dang guys, what's up? Good evening. Good evening. What's going on? Oh Jesus. What's up, Manic? What's up, Echo Far? What's up, Emerald? What's up, PM Collector Boy? What's up, Naren? What's up, Fury Fighter? Loaded High and everybody. Hi everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. I am doing splendid. I'm doing wonderful. You did kick off a scam train. Good job, Fury Fighter. Good job. But thank you so much for subscribing for 34 months. And Lodra High, thank you so much for subscribing too. It's being covered up by the scam train thing, so I can't see how many months it is, but I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. But yeah, hope you're all doing well. I'm doing good. I got me my little drinky here. Very, very happy about this. Oh god, it's so good. Gin and tonic, man. Music to my ears. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit. It's really good, but it's a little much. And a break. Don't go broke on me. You're making me feel bad, Fury. I do very much appreciate your generosity, but for God's sake, spend your money on you, not me. 42 months. Good lord. It's coming up on 4 years. Damn. Hi, broke. And I'm dad. Emerald, happy birthday, by the way. Sorry we missed it yesterday. We were actually doing birthday stuff for my dog. Oh my god! Feels like it's been a while, actually. Feels like we'd been in a Cotton Eye Joe dry spell, if anything. Thank you very much, Library Man. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, yesterday we were doing birthday stuff for my younger daughter. Her birthday's on the 25th of this month, so still a ways to go. But since we're so busy, since we do so much and our schedule's kind of tight, like we got to do fun birthday stuff whenever we can. So I went to Knott's Berry's farm yesterday. Had a really good time. Had a lovely time. Ate at California Pizza Kitchen on the way home at her suggestion. It was very nice. Had a good day. Didn't actually have much of a chance to play anything yesterday. By the time I got home and I was just sitting here, I was ready to vegetate. So I was watching like some Star Trek and YouTube and stuff. So update on Tormented Souls. Accepting of indie games being a little jank. Did get used to the gameplay? Game did the worst thing ever. A lot of notes in the game reading that tells you the lore of the setting, what happened. Been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Okay, now you're broke, right? What happened? Reading them was pointless when a few bits just expedition dump all over your outing way. Ah, so it was like a failsafe for the people that don't read the notes and married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Also understand people not being capable of piecing things together. I understand that people like explanation shit in games. Why let me read all that only and have it directly explained to you? Yeah, that is a little frustrating, isn't it? This I'm sorry, the stream has been terrible lately. I'll speak to the management about that. I'll let them in. Maybe you'll get a coupon for some complimentary fries or something on your next visit, if that helps. Don't be sorry for ranting, Emerald. I think you have a point there. I think you have a point. If you're actually gonna do the legwork and put in the time to have a story that can be pieced together, it's kind of disappointing to have it just kind of like dumped on you like that. This in no way relates to our discussion on Signalis, mind you. Signalis was a very different beast. Do not apply this reasoning to that. Never been to a California Pizza Kitchen, the one near you closed down because it flopped hard? Yeah, well, I imagine anything labeled California and Texas is gonna go over like a lead balloon, whether it deserves to or not. Think I am now, only one way to find out. Never actually eaten a CPK, just had their frozen pizzas. So like, I think Library Man has it. Their barbecue chicken frozen pizza is very tasty garbage. It's kind of like a quintessential modern American restaurant experience. You go and you buy some absurd pizza like Thai chicken or like club sandwich or whatever, and it's like $20 and it's pretty good. It's not $20 good, but it's fine. We had a crazy salad pizza and spaghetti bolognese. And it was good. I enjoyed it. Had leftovers. That was fine. It was expensive, but we enjoyed the experience. Had some Morningstar Farms anti-chicken nuggets. They choked me. I've been dying since. Little Morningstar. I mean, come on. What did you expect? They're chicken nuggets straight from the farms of Satan himself. One free Stellaris stream for every unsatisfactory chat experience. That'd go over real well with some of y'all, definitely. Considering how many Californians are coming to Texas and driving up rent beyond normal people's reach, you think something named after California would make them feel at home? Yeah, they're not really there by choice, though. Their idiot companies are relocating, and if they want their careers to survive, they gotta go along for the ride. So I wouldn't blame it on them necessarily. Companies that have no business being in Texas with the wages that they're paying are driving everything up. So if they weren't taking some very short-sighted decisions to relocate there, it wouldn't be a problem. But capitalism. It doesn't matter why to you, it just matters it's becoming impossible to live here. Well, I mean, the causes are kind of important. If you know what the causes are, there's, I don't know, at least the potential to do something about it. Probably gonna play 2 just to see the devs improve. The first one has so many issues. I don't think I've seen many survival horror games. Every survival horror has issues. Never played one where literally every mechanic and gameplay system was awful. You're surprisingly accepting of a game where you're saying everything's awful. Okay. Went to one at the pea soup. It was good. Nice. The box lied. It said free succubus in the box. I'm a fool. The old succubus in a box trip. Started Dragon Age Oregon Trail. Dragon Age Oregon Trail. Took me an hour to install recommended patches. It's fun so far. The fan patching process can be pretty fun, can it? I think the new thing is custom personal pizzas. Is a place near me called Mod, and they have amazing hot honey. So yes, Mod Pizza, Blaze Pizza, Pizza Rev. Actually, I'm not sure Pizza Rev still exists. All the ones around here went out of business. But yeah, basically taking the Chipotle model and applying it to pizza. That became pretty big in the years leading up to the pandemic. So some of those places survived. What's up, Helvete? Good to see you. No joke, Morningstar corn dogs are awesome. This costs 4 times the amount of regular ones. Yeah, that's the pain of it. That's the tricky part. Becoming impossible to live anywhere? Yeah, it really is. Sadly, it is. Because there's no controls on it. There's nobody to sit there and stop land developers and contractors from just building places for the richest possible demographic they think they can stuff into a place. Think you missed my comment way the heck over there? Yeah, probably. Chat got off on a tear early. Oh, what's that ad for the completionist? This up here, right? This. I guess the dude is partnering with Steam to show off some games. Seems like it's for charity, like fighting dementia. So that's cool. Kickoff on the 20th, midweek special 25th, marathon stream from the 27th to 20th. That is a marathon stream, Jesus. Yeah, don't watch me. Go watch this guy. I hear he's popular. I've never actually watched him. Gerard's dedication to games is a bit too extreme for you. So the NPCs place. That is a cute pug. I like that pug. What's up, Arcane? Stray cat climbed up my bed and jump scaring the hell out of you. Now he's sleeping on my bed. The freeloader. Nice. Very nice. What I mean to say is, in terms of mechanics, it feels like everything is fucked up when it's not supposed to be. It feels awful to play, whereas Resident Evil 1 Remake has some similar gameplay mechanics and such, but they're much better designed. It feels better to play. I think I actually know what you mean. I think I get what you're saying. You can have games that on the surface play the same way, but there's little like game feel details Like controls feeling sticky, movement feeling like stuck to a grid or coordinates or something rather than being completely fluid, that can make a real difference. The other comment? Oh, playing some spoopy games of your own. Earlier today I beat Detention, now working my way through Oh, nice. I'm glad you have access to Devotion. Yesterday I beat Iron Lung. I could see why Devotion earned such critical acclaim before I got Deep Six. Yeah, Devotion's seriously one of the best horror games I've ever played. It's a shame it vanished into the ether the way it did, but the more people that know about it, the better. I'll have to replay it sometime. I'll have to restream that sometime. That was also one of the most popular VODs on my YouTube channel. That one actually got views up in the thousands, which is extremely rare for me, since it is just a completely unedited VOD archive. I don't like popular streamers. I like you. Aw, thank you, Manic. Tired Brain literally read that as showcasing I don't know, you think about it. Once you get over the obvious exploitation factor, that could actually be pretty effective for making people realize how pressing a concern it is. It's like finding a correctly balanced shmup or platformer, even if they mostly look similar. Yeah. Have y'all played Party Animals? It seems super fun. We watched, I think Bassie was playing it one night, and we rated him. My younger daughter wants it, because she's seen videos of it. It does look hilarious. Still sometimes sing the credit song from Devotion. Man, that game was firing on all cylinders. Everything about it was great. Graphics, sound design, the story is just, mwah. The story is so good. It really is up there with Soma, I think, for me, as just one of the best horror games of all time. Oh, wasn't you? You don't have Party Animals? Who the hell was I watching? Oh, you know what? It might have been Sig. It might have been Big Sig. Now that I think about it. My mistake, Bassie. I apologize. Also good to see you tonight. Hope you're doing well. Said Devotion has a hyper-aggressive motion blur, but I like it the way it conveys movement. Yeah, I feel like that was kind of important to its aesthetic, whereas in a lot of games it feels just vestigial. It feels like it was just thrown in because it looked neat at some point and the developers just want to keep it. But yeah, Devotion was fantastic. Yeah, I think for me it's probably I don't know that anything will ever top Soma. I think Soma is such effective, identifiable existential dread. Like, it hits on these topics that everybody's kind of rolled around in their heads at some point. And once you start really internalizing what it's telling you, like, it is ruinous. It is absolutely ruinous to think about. Just on your own. Just trying to work out the metaphysics of what you're seeing is big, but then you see you're also experiencing people like having to put this into effect, actually having to work this stuff out in a very tangible way is even more effective. Existential is one theme that almost nobody's really tackled as deeply. That's true. That is true. Yeah, psychological horror is always, it's based around mainly trauma. Almost always trauma, in fact. But yeah, Soma goes that step further and examines the implicit horror in simply being. You know? The existential dread of your very nature as a conscious being. It's so good. I watched the ending to Soma and I was annoyed. It works a lot better with the context of the rest of the game, I will say that. It's also like, I know Soma has its critics, and it's like it's one of the few times where I really think criticisms of Soma are off base. I really think it's just like Yeah, stuff is open to interpretation, but I really think people are reading that game wrong. But I try not to get too up in arms about it. I feel like Alien Isolation is the best AAA horror game till the ending. That's a really long game too, isn't it? Yeah, I read that. Found myself learning a bit of Chinese just to sing it accurately yourself. Nice. Combat in Torment Soul is a good example, a lot like OG RE1 more than anything. Issues, the combat feels way too strange and soulless. Enemy encounters are a whole other issue. Hitboxes are atrocious, maybe even worse when you're introduced to the really bad projectile enemies. Some of that giant claws can reach you. You know, game explodes at 2 Signalis. Don't put those games in the same breath. They are no. Signalis wishes it could touch the hem of Soma's cape. They are not comparable in any way. Sorry. I think I got the bad. Oh crap. Okay. I'll find him later. I think I got the bad ending of Detention after looking at the good ending. I think the bad ending feels more natural and gives a sense of poignancy. That said, the whole game made you feel gross. Never had a game crawl under my skin and die there to that extent. That's a really good way to put it. That is a really, really good way to put it, yeah. Yeah, Detention just has this really, like... I mean, it's certainly the aesthetic, but also the nature of the story in that one feels really... It feels bad. You know bad things happen. Dodge lost his crazy bills on the test. Explains a lot, doesn't it? Remember a game called The Consuming Shadow, and that game was filled with dread? I always wanted to play that. That's a Yahtzee game. I don't remember if he still makes games or not, but that was like the last one I remember him putting out. And it seemed really, really neat. I don't want to become the troll that pushes the buttons. I won't lie, that was amusing. Glad you're happy with yourself. Do you feel like I'm being a little harsh on Tormented Souls? I suggest people try it out. Maybe this is not for you. Yeah, certainly. Different strokes and all that. Oddish Osborne on the crazy train. Main game now, Starstruck Vagabond. I didn't know that. I'll look that up. I fell off this particular brand of humor a long time ago, but I do enjoy his games a lot. I really like the Chizo mythos. I really liked the Art of Theft, for the most part. Detention kind of looks like that one weird, depressing side-scroller game you suggested to a while back. Have Detention. Oh, you should play it. I think you'd really like it. What's up, Peach? You are in time. You got plenty of time. We're not starting for a bit, I'm sure. Wait, Consuming Shadows 99 cents right now? Damn. Well, Peach just made sure I can afford it. Thank you so much for subscribing for 41 months. Damn. Cat Lady. Damn. Cat Lady. Cat Lady's definitely up there with the most depressing games I've ever played. Cat Lady is pitch black. It's a really good game, but man, you gotta be emotionally prepared for that one. I think Hellblade probably sits nice with Soma. Hellblade. I really like Hellblade. I don't think it's quite as complete a package as something like Soma or Devotion. I think the gameplay lets it down a little bit. It feels a little too video gamey in parts. Like there's some really, really neat sequences in Hellblade, like really effective. Like feels really creepy. Feels really grimy. But then like the combat kind of imposes itself, and that's just like it doesn't even have bad combat. It just has very repetitive combat, and they lean on it just a little too much. Other than that, yeah, Hellblade's really, really good. Cat Lady is depressing, leaves you with hope. I suppose it does, yeah. It does have a good ending, certainly. You want no hope? No, I can't do Lisa. We've talked about this quite a bit. Lisa is beyond the line for me. I can't do it. Fear and Hunger is also entirely hopeless. Can't lie, I want to play more point and clicks that make me want to die inside. Well, everything by the developer of the Cat Lady will do that to you. Downfall, there's a couple of them actually. It's like 3 or 4 of them. Franbo is one of the few games actually bringing you to tears. Franbo was really good. Franbo is really good. It's a real shame Little Misfortune wasn't. And it really wasn't, Jesus. I like seeing darker games in stream here because sometimes it's too intense alone. I get that. But I think there's also a line on that too. Like I definitely couldn't do the Cat Lady or any of those games. I think we've talked about Sanitarium, and I can't really do that one either. Sanitarium's a little too far. I shouldn't be wondering this, but I wonder if Lisa would actually be more bearable as a stream game. Maybe it's playing it alone. Just like Peach was saying, maybe playing it alone is what makes it too much for me. Generally, the level you pick has been good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Yeah, I don't want anything we play to be too challenging for folks on an emotional level. I don't mind being challenged to a degree, but you know, to a degree, but yeah. Would pass on watching Lisa. I imagine a lot of people would. That wouldn't necessarily stop me. Lisa's one of those I can't really be sure about, you know. I'm sure about it solo. Look up online to give you a gentle nudge. I found out I failed to notice the key stuck behind the eye chart. There's only a brief stuck point. The clock puzzle came close. I looked at it from a different perspective. Maybe I'm missing the point of horror stories right now because I need hopeful endings. No, I don't think you're missing the point. I think there's just a time and a place for hopeful stories and despairing, like stories of despair. And you're not always going to be in the mood for both, you know? Turbo Overkill's pretty dark. You install more and more implants during the game. By the 3rd chapter, you're completely robotic. Make a point to destroy your leftover piece of humanity. Wow. Fear and Hunger is hopeless in a way you can tell the creator really wants to be grossed out and edgy for no reason. I'm not convinced. I've heard enough commentary on Fear and Hunger that I'm not ready to write it off as like a pure edgelord game. You can watch Lisa, fine. You watch your brother playing it for a while. Both kept sighing, going, wow, that was a lot. I bet. Lisa, painful and joyful are very different from the first. Don't know any other games with double chainsaw legs besides Turbo Overkill. That does sound like a pretty unique selling point. Ones that are kind of investigative, supernatural, a mild jump horror stuff is nicer group. That's a good point. Yeah, that is true. Those seem to work pretty well. Hopefully that's where this one's gonna fall. I was reading just a tiny bit about it on the store page, and it seems like it really wants to be psychological horror, a bit throwbacky, a bit its own thing. PlayStation 1 and refunded after getting so uncomfortable at how much the game was trying to make you feel grossed. If you haven't seen it, Emerald, Super Eyepatch Wolf did a big video essay on Fear and Hunger that actually made me pretty interested in it. I mean, it's of course their read of it, but I thought it was a pretty good read and a pretty interesting one as well. Chainsaw legs are theoretically possible in Spore. Can't remember the name of it. There was a Half-Life 1 mod that was super popular horror game that was super fucking grim. Was it They Hunger? I know the big famous Half-Life one was They Hunger. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Sonic Superstars drop. Nice. I can't imagine we'll be seeing Shadows tonight. Oh, it's Cry of Fear. Okay, cool. I've played Cry of Fear. It's pretty effective. And yeah, there's not much of a story in it, but what is there is pretty dark. I think the thing is, like, if you want to have a really dark story, it needs to be really involved, because I don't feel like dark stories do very much unless the player is particularly emotionally invested in it. Like, that's why the Cat Lady is so dark. Like, the shit that happens in the Cat Lady isn't even really that extreme. Like, I've definitely played games that are more extreme than that, but the thing is, the Cat Lady does a really, really, really effective job of getting you invested in the protagonist. And so when you finally find out why they are the way they are, it is just heartbreaking. It is really, really brutal. Trying to write an article about why I get annoyed by some horror endings. I think it's mostly because I'm a fuddy-duddy. You gotta put that in the title now. I don't hear the phrase fuddy-duddy enough. Horror movies in decades prior had bad guys lose, heroes escape, and nowadays everyone likes grim endings. I think there's a lot to read out of that. I think for horror movies that are metaphors for modern struggles, I think the hopeless ending is, in a way, expressing that there's no easy escape from the issues being showcased, or that the way that they were battled in the story wasn't the most effective way to take them on. I feel like there's a reason for hopeless endings in things. Like, hopeless endings they're trying to tell you something. Iron Lung was a gimmick game that probably had zero replayability. It was a fun gimmick while it lasted. Its gameplay mechanics are superb. Yeah. Completely agree. It is a shockingly effective game. Absolute mastery of the art. Think things have come back around to protagonists escaping again. I mean, I don't think it's fair to generalize, really. I don't think it ever swung one way or the other. I think there's always been like dark, hopeless endings or dark twist endings, and then hopeful endings where the good guys do escape or whatever. I think it always just depends on what you're seeking out in your media. When if you're in Hunger Blind, probably should have researched the triggers and such. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. If you went into Fear and Hunger without knowing what you were getting into, I mean, that game needs an entire pamphlet of warnings, really. Once dark and grim, I can just go turn on the news. I have some hope in my video games because I don't get much anywhere else. That's fair, but it's also not why everybody comes to video games. You know? It's honestly not why I play games. Now that I think about it. Video games have always been escapism for me, but I'm honestly just as happy with grim escapism as I am with like optimistic escapism, because in either event, it's something separate from my life. You know, it's a different world. Whether it's a good world or a bad world, it isn't mine. You know, if I play something hopeful, then I can, I can feed off some of that hope for my own future. If I play something grim, I can be like, well, I'm not them. I got off better than they did. This ties into current day cynical sci-fi stories and why Star Trek optimism is a standout. Alternatively, Western horror movies are cribbing off the successes of Asian horror. I am joking. I just want games where the endings feel like they're made well. That's really all that I ask, yeah. If I play an interesting game with interesting ideas, I want it to have a satisfying conclusion. And I want... Like I was saying with Signalis, I want a story. I want a complete story. I want to be able to trace the arc of it. I want to see the beats of it. I want a solid hook at the beginning and a satisfying conclusion at the end. I will allow for more ambiguous games if they have a really good vibe to them and they have a lot of really interesting ideas. But for the most part, if you're gonna have a story-rich game, then I want the total package. I want it fully formed. So many games out trends are almost not possible to track anyway. That's very true too. Like it's such a vast market now. It's really not that hard to find anything that you're looking for, no matter how specific. And they get a growing My Grandpa movie? Hopefully never. Greek tragedies are just edgelordy shit. I haven't played Nier Automata yet. I've been in a headspace. I haven't been in a headspace for such a grim, dark setting that has good storytelling. Whereas I can play Diablo 4, for example, easy because I'm there for the plot. You know, certainly stuff that I need to be in the mood for. But for me, these days, I need... My mood more determines what kind of gameplay I'm looking for. Like, depending on my mood, I might not be willing to play something that's like high execution, high stress. I might just want something chill, untimed, play at your own pace, no ostensible goals. The story is kind of secondary to that. The story, in a way, the story kind of has less of a emotional impact than the gameplay itself and the expectations of the gameplay. Unless, of course, the story is really good. What's up, Eva? You like no one lives under the rug house despite being ambiguous because it gave you a solid plot? I mean, it was much easier to trace. It was much easier to trace the actual plot line in that as opposed to Signalis. How did I like the Lighthouse game? That was me when I was sicker than hell, so I was dead asleep. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought the Lighthouse game was great. I'm in a melancholy moment. I'm enjoying Frieren manga anime a lot. Probably never play Papers, Please, because I don't want stress-filled gameplay. Yes, that's a big reason why I've never finished a game of Papers, Please. That game is stressful. That game makes me feel bad about my choices. And I'll play it for like an hour and I'll put it down and I will never go back to it because I know what I'm getting into and I don't want that. I just don't want it. Excited to hear what you think of Amnesia the Bunker, the gameplay, and that is what I would describe as yummy, tasty, and delicious. Well, we shall see, won't we? We're only a scant 2 weeks away. Chat, Halloween's in like 2 weeks. Isn't this crazy? We're already over halfway through October. It's pretty nuts. So, speaking of which, let's go ahead and talk about the schedule and then get into whatever the hell this is right here. But we are gonna be playing Homebody tonight from the creators of Dream Daddy, so you know you're in good hands here. I have been led to believe that this is a 3-night game, so I've blocked out 3 nights for it. Tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And then the schedule this week is a little different. On Thursday, we're gonna be playing World of Horror. We're gonna keep the spoops going in lieu of the power hours because World of Horror gets its 1.0 release on Thursday, and I haven't played that game in a hot minute. And I would really like to, because it's steeped in some aesthetics and themes that I absolutely love. That means on Friday, we're going to be doing you specifically, your community night. And you specifically, pick Kadelka. And we're going to I guess spend 3 hours playing that? I don't know. World of Horror gets a what release? It's full release. It's 1.0 release. It's in early access right now. It leaves early access on Thursday. So yeah, World of Horror on Thursday, Kudelka on Friday, and then Power Hours. No, it's been in early access. It's still in early access. Yeah. Yeah, World of Horror launched in early access 3 years ago. And the developer has been making tons of tweaks and adding tons of content to it over that time. And then finally, this Thursday, it gets its full release. It's been a long road, but we made it. You gonna spend 3 hours enjoying the Kudelka soundtrack and the voice acting? Probably. Hey, if it's an excuse for a just chatting stream, I will take it. I will take it. Good luck playing. The gameplay is shit, and I say that as a major Kudelka fan. I may take the unusual step of actually hunting down and reading the manual before we play it. An atmospheric chat stream. There we go. I'll be sure to prepare some alternate topics and hot takes for the evening. And then next week, I don't think we've talked about next week yet, but that one's pretty well resolved. We're gonna be playing Metro 2033, which I have never played. I've had the Metro games for ages and I've just never played them. I know they're creepy as hell because my father tried playing them and they freaked him out too much. So that'll be what we're doing next week, along with a healthy dose of the Power Hours on Thursday and Saturday. And then next Friday, a week from this Friday, I have resolved taking evening out to play Mermaid Swamp, which is an older RPG Maker horror game that I watched a playthrough of many, many years ago and was rather smitten with. So hopefully my tastes hold up and it'll be an interesting experience. And then for the final 2 streaming days of Spooktober, we're gonna do Amnesia the Bunker. Monday the 30th and Tuesday the 31st. So it'll be great. What's up, Shadows? I can't believe you're here. Isn't Sonic out? Holy fuck, Shadows, stop scaring me at the perfect time. Absolutely nothing about Kudelka other than Shadows won't shut the fuck up about it. It's very entertaining to read his Kudelka Shadows. Artium time. You'll like it as a plot. Kudelka is a great bad game or a bad great game. How would you measure Kudelka against, say, Deadly Premonition? Because to me, Deadly Premonition is like the quintessential bad game. Great bad game. Good bad game. Bad good game. Good bad game. Kudelka is much better, you say? Well, Kudelka runs. That is a rather strong point in its favor. Kudelka's one issue is kind of long loading times are kind of long. Otherwise, genuinely great games. What's up, Helvy? Nothing will serve Deadly Premonition. First place in your heart, nothing. Nothing. Kudelka's better off to play it. Deadly Premonition more like Deadly... Oh, y'all. Deadly Premonition has the Twin Peaks vibes. Y'all have really built up Kudelka in my mind. I can't wait for Friday. I can't wait to be horribly disappointed. I wouldn't necessarily say it's better. It's much more focused and has its own good vibe. I see. Oh, I just realized something. Shit, I just realized something. Hold, please. Please stand by. I forgot to do a thing. I completely forgot to do a thing. Do I have it? Where is it? Did I get it? Come on, where are you? Hang on. There your ass is. I think my brain tried to protect me from this, honestly. Sorry, it's not this anymore, chat. It's not this anymore. It's this. Just fix this up. That's just a fuck you, Eva. Fuck you and die. I have so many Sonic wallpapers. What the hell is wrong with you people? Why does this keep happening? Jesus. Let's get rid of that. So many Sonic wallpapers. You absolute degenerates. Call back to Bubsy fighting Nazis one. Use a string says doo-doo. Say Kadelka's only major flaws, mechanically speaking, the fighting is a bit nonsense and there's a boss that's just poorly designed mess. I mean, that could be any horror game though. Gameplay is kind of crap. It was caught between the head dev's desire to make a survival horror and corporate's demands to make a JRPG. They actually hired stage actors, now they're recording the same location. They also took the whole team to Wales or whatever for environment research. Hilarious because most of it is indoors. They just got a European vacation. I would totally do that. On somebody else's dime? Hell yes. To redeem, so who is the real issue here? You let the Sonic fan in chat. The picture is mid-rant. Is this how y'all see me when I'm ranting about stuff? When we got to the end of Signalis, were y'all just seeing this as I was talking? Because honestly, that explains a lot. What's up, Balloon Eyes? I know I was. What's up, Dave? Shadow Hearts is a sequel to Kadelka, as happens with the Shadow Hearts series in general. The series' early entries are darker than its latter. Kadelka is significantly darker than Shadow Hearts 1. Oh, Oddish, I've been streaming Might and Magic 7. Remember this shitty dwarven cave with all the slimes that can't be hit except by magic? I do remember. What befell you there, my friend? Anyway, let's get in the game. Let's start this game before it gets any later. We're playing Homebody. Homebody once told me. Did you know every class can equip a wand? I didn't. It made that cave so much easier. I didn't know that. That's actually really interesting. That's actually really smart. God, there we go. Warning, this game contains stuff. Good, I like stuff. Actually, violence, body horror, and okay, I saw OCD and depression and stuff, so. This game is equipped with the feels, I think. Also, I think this is a controller game. I saw lots of controller prompts on the screenshots, so we'll see. End Eve alert! Evacuate! Run for your lives, chat! What's up, Hydro? Good to see you. The coast is, oh, good. The coast is clear. I estimate that 76% of Twitch chat picked their nose and eat it. 84% don't wash their hands after using the bathroom. 4% add Vaseline on their toast for breakfast. Those are my... Oh, come on! Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad, dude. Oh, speaking of the camera, was the scariest shit I've seen all year. Because then you really get a good idea of just how bald I am. You know, I feel like the camera kind of helps at this distance and like this resolution here, but like you really get in there, and boy, it's like, okay, there's no helping that, is there? Some analog horror shit. Wallpaper didn't scare you already. Weedy Saitama. Paid is such a good way, such a good word. Good for somebody like me who has such a prominent one. Anyway, see you, nerds. Good timing, Shadows. Only 45 minutes to start the game. Were we speedrunning or something? I thought, you know, if we're devoting 3 nights to this game, we should probably spend some of that time actually playing it. So, anyway, I don't know what's going on. New game. Here we go. English me. Continue with yes. I confirm. Probably should check to see if there were subtitles. Fuck. Next person asks for pineapple juice, cranberry juice, lemonade, a slice of orange in the same glass. Can you get oh my god, Fury. Oh, Christ. Actually, it occurs to me, I don't know if this game has voice acting or not. Tilt in a direction, keep net press to run. Memory log. Gary text. Call back if you see this. We're going to the Kroger down the road. Sorry we missed you. The gate combination is the 3rd number down on the post-it. See you soon. Lol. Lamau. Have we ever seen Fury and Eddie even chat at the same time, though? I don't think so. Settings, real quick. That's audio, and that's gameplay. We're on Tank Control's gamepad, apparently. Alright, well, those are your options, chat. Savor them. It's about to play The Witness. Get this fucking cursor out of my way. Oh my god. My vibrator just went off. Should not have given the remote to somebody else.
I like it.
The timing on that, Jesus Christ. Hey Emily, you're not giving up already, are you? Yes. I mean, no. I'm on my way there. Kinda. Are you panicking? Do you need to pull over? I already did. Yeah, I already did. I'm on the side of the road. Already did what? Panicked or pulled over? Both. Pulled over. Want to see this? My sick head is going to kick me in the bed soon, I think. Ah, hang in there, Fury. I mean, you don't stay up on my account. Take care of yourself. Must go. I'm very out of it. Need sleep. See ya. See ya, Emerald. Thanks for coming out. No true direction controls. There was the option for a virtual joystick or controller or something. I'm not sure what that would necessarily mean. I got 26. Oh my god. Chris X Chad, thank you so much for the raid. What's going on? Holy shit. What's up, Dillers? What's up, Chris? Beard Gang raid. Oh my god. I feel so horribly unprepared. I shaved yesterday. I had a nice neck beard going until then. Hopefully the next stream I come to, I'm no longer ranting about Tormented Souls, instead Code Vein or Death Stranding. Perhaps both. Code Stranding, Death Vein. I look forward to it, Emerald. Have a good one. We're going to Kroger after we finish this panic attack. We've all been there, I think. A beard is a beard, friend. It is, isn't it? It is. Anyway, thanks for coming in. What were you all up to? Sorry, the only other stream playing this, we're doing some Homebody. Oh, cool. Very nice. We just started. I'm supposed to start at like 9 p.m., but I get off on tangents really easily, and I just talk and talk and talk, kind of like what I'm doing right now. So yeah, we just started like 5 minutes ago or so. So we get to enjoy the beginning again together. It'll be great. But thanks very much for the raid. I appreciate it. Osh actually hates playing video games. I wouldn't call it actual animosity, more like indifference, maybe. Started to finish Amnesia the Bunker. Oh damn! You finished Amnesia the Bunker. I'm gonna be playing that at the end of the month. I'm saving that as the coup de grace, the coup de gracie, the grand finale. What's up, hey Tudaby? How you doing tonight? Hello, it's unfortunately Monday, at least for me. I'm dumb and it's dumb and I hate it. Let's do our best. I agree. Realized the other day that everyone in my gaming group, #1, has a beard. Beards are in right now. I would have one too, but my wife vetoed. Greetings and salutations, Clockwork Dragon 7. Good to see you out tonight. I know that's not exactly how it's spelled, but I'm pretty sure that was the intent. So, and I don't know how to pronounce it the way it's the other way. So, yeah, hi. Anyway, I've got 26 unread messages from my friends, and I know it's going to be bad news. I've been sitting at the side of the road for 20 minutes just trying to stay calm. Very true, Dillers. Happy wife, happy life. Words to live by. Yeah, they do have the advantage, yeah. It's the way it's pronounced. I know I spelled it wrong. I did it on purpose. Well, that's cool. I'm totally fine with that. Makes it more distinctive, if you ask me. I don't think I can handle it. I'm thinking about turning around. And you're hoping I give you permission? I would like to permission to turn around, yes. Look, you're not going to a funeral. You're going to a cool old house to hang out with your friends and watch a meteor shower. Is this social anxiety? Because I've been there. You do this every year and you always seem to have a good time. First things first, hands on wheel, key in ignition, start driving. Okay. Yes, go, just do it. Drive to haunted house, hang out with friends, there you go. Get murdered. It's all part of the dream. She's the homebody in the title. There we go, and now we're off. Hey to Raid and Run, it's 1 a.m. Pleasure meeting you. I hope you have a great stream. Totally understand. Thanks for coming out. Thanks again for the raid. Much appreciated. And I'll have to check out your channel too. Have a good one, buddy. Attack of Panic is a real anxiety of social relatable. It definitely is. Yeah, absolutely. Emily, it feels like you haven't left the apartment in weeks. Being in the middle of nowhere and watching a meteor shower doesn't sound so bad, does it? It's not that. It's like they're sending me like pages and pages of instructions on how to get in this weird old house they rented. Like there's a keypad on the gate and Gary sent me the code, but I just know I'm gonna get locked out somehow. I'm gonna run out of gas trying to get back. Oh God, Endive's doing a twofer tonight. Damn. I accidentally handed my wife a glue stick instead of her chapstick. She hasn't talked to me. It's a fucking Rodney Dangerfield bit right there. Jesus. What's up, Buster? Good to see you tonight. The cops are gonna find me a week from now, skeletal husk behind the wheel of my car, clutching my phone. You're spinning yourself in circles, Em. You're fine. You're safe. They miss you. You know what? That's what makes it so hard. I miss them too. That's what makes it so hard. I'm already like 4 hours late. It's gonna be another hour before I get there. I don't think another hour is gonna make things that much worse. Would it hurt to just be honest with them about it? I don't know. I guess I just don't know how to say I wasted a bunch of time stalling because I didn't want to come and not make it weird. That would actually make it kind of weird. Just be like, look, dude, it's, I don't know what year it is in this, but like, I get no respect at all. This 2023, you can just tell people you have anxiety. It's fine. Just do it. Everybody has anxiety. I have terrible anxiety. Chat, I have anxiety. I tell my wife that. I tell my coworkers that. It's a thing. Preferaj's relationship with his children in a decade. Things are already weird enough. I haven't spoken to any of them in almost a year. I mean, sorry, that's kind of normal too for some of us. Like, I really only stay in contact with people when they're in my in my immediate orbit, like coworkers. Like, yeah, I'll hang out with my coworkers. I'll be friendly with my coworkers and stuff at work and stuff. If I quit, if I got another job, I would never talk to them again. It's not because I dislike them. I actually like them quite a bit. It's just the kind of person that I am. I'm terrible at staying in contact with people. I've stayed in contact with one person from my previous job, one person from when I was living in Japan, and nobody from my schooling. Nobody. That's just me. That's just life. That's just the way things work. Was it Mr. Konami? Yes, I was friends with Mr. Konami. Because there's a Mr. Konami. They keep him frozen in the basement. They thaw him out once every 2 decades. I have anxiety, hair color, and pronouns. Live with it. Yeah, exactly. But if you're anxious about telling people about your anxiety, is there a pill for that? God, there better be, man. Anxiety, depression, ADHD. I have trouble staying in touch with anyone. Yeah, no, it's the human condition. It's the way things are. And weirdly, I think, the increasing network of everything being networked and being online all the time, and people having such immediate access to your life and thoughts and stuff, I think that's made it worse, honestly. I think it's made it harder to stay connected to people in any sort of meaningful way. I think Facebook kind of ended up being like a stand-in for actual like social interaction, and I think like people lost their genuine connections because of that. Pretty sure at this point my anxiety has me. It's like, do they make pills for Naren? Calling him the bet I must answer. Well, thanks for coming out, Clockwork Dragon. It was great to meet you. Have a good one. Once told my friend my social anxiety is being afraid of being a pack of animals that are much bigger than me. I'm 5'2" and he's 6'2", and he can only say, fair. Threat assessment is a bit off. My reasoning is sound. You found a very effective way to get it through. I just saw remaining friends with the ex-coworkers of the dark souls of relationships. It totally is. Frozen Mr. Konami in the basement sounds like a Kojima boss backstory, except he'd be called something like Freezer Man. Therapist says depression is a passive grip, anxiety is active and doesn't like getting go. Yeah, that seems accurate. That seems very accurate. Yeah, sometimes just dumb random things will trigger my anxiety and makes it so hard to accomplish anything. It's like your brain locks up, you know? It gets a hold of you and you can't really focus on anything other than the anxiety. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks big time. I'm lucky I have a lot of people in my life who understand that, and it's, you know, it's a give and take sort of thing. Like, yes, I have anxiety, but like I also I work really hard to manage it and push past it. And I think I think the people in my life understand it to that degree. So I don't know what it would be like if it was worse. I'd probably have to start medicating if it was worse. Executive dysfunction. I get close to or miss a deadline for some reason. I get too anxious to work during work hours and have to grind overnight. Yeah. Anxiety is tiring. No, anxiety absolutely is tiring. Anxiety is exhausting because it seizes your whole body. It's like a force that your body has to resist. And it all the while it's coursing energy through you. It's rough. Changed my meds a month ago and they were like, this might make it worse. And the peril of brain meds is it doesn't mean it's bad. It's your brain overcompensates for lack of anxiety with more anxiety. We know what you need, body. That sucks, dude. That sucks. Well, I hope you're through the worst of it at least. I hope things are improving from there. You really think they won't forgive you for that? I think it doesn't matter what I think. I think I'm panicking. Yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. It doesn't matter what I think, because I'm panicking. That's becoming me on airplanes now. Is like my rational mind knows there's really nothing to be concerned about on an airplane, but my anxiety just grabs hold. Is like, fuck off, reason. I'm in the driver's seat now. Maybe if I fall in love with my anxiety, I'll leave. Oh my god, Andy. Holy shit, dude. You know, we don't say this very often, but you really do have a talent for these. You really do. Oh my god. I used to think my brain was the best part of me, but look what that got to me. What if we freak the fuck out sitting down an empty room? Anxiety literally ever. That was indeed well played. Emily. What are you so afraid of? Chad, is the killer going to be a metaphor for anxiety and social isolation? You can recall important facts from your memory log. Press start to open it. All right. Once again, the Gary text. Gate combination is the third number down on the post-it. Or it could just be 420. Who knows? Check keypad. Oh, 8129 maybe? I'm a genius. Yes, I am. Oh yeah, video game. Remember the video game? Because I don't. Incredible security system. It's the Ex Machina house. Brains are extremely dumb. It's meat shocked into thinking. Yeah. Get the feeling I'm being watched. That's one of your friends, right? Oh, hey, Cliff. It's myhouse.wad. He just lit that thing. What a waste. If this is taking place in the modern era, that one cigarette costs like $8. There she is, the star of the show. That is the last thing somebody with social anxiety wants to hear. You're finally here. Yeah, long drive, huh? It wasn't that bad. I think it, all in all, is like 3.5 hours. Felt more like 6 from here. We were getting worried about you. Aw, man, all you can do is lie. That's a good bit of character building, though. $8 single cigarette can buy a Steam game I'll never play. I mean, you gotta remember, I live in California. Like, the smallest denomination of currency here is $8. I got delayed by work thing. My mom helped me up. I ran into car trouble. Always blame mom. Stopped at my mom's place on the way over, just being really clingy. You know how it goes. She kept finding little excuses to keep me there. If she's anything like mine, you probably had to reset her router a few times too. Hey, I take it you got my text message. Yep. All of them. Anxiety lying, very relatable. Cool, we were worried you wouldn't be able to get inside. Did Pete have any trouble getting here? Actually, Pete isn't here yet. He's about 33 hours late. Yeah, he was supposed to be here last night. Worst of all, the owner of the house didn't want to let us in before everyone named on the rental was here. Yeah, like a server at Olive Garden, not wanting to seat us until our whole party's arrived. All you can do is lie. Sounds like an emo album. I would actually put money down on that being an emo album. I could believe that. Took some convincing for him to let us stay. Here we go. Is that why Mr. Nest gave us an hour of instructions on how to wreck the place? I think he would have done that either way. He didn't strike me as the kind of guy who gets a lot of company. Not to be mean. Was that too mean? You're fine. Anyway, come on in, Emily. Make yourself comfortable. For real, we got some catching up to do. How long has it been since I last saw you? Like a year? Yeah, don't keep us waiting any longer. I hate it here. Hey, why don't I take your bag for you? Okay. With my problem being I'm dead-ass terrible at lying. Hey, everybody's really happy to have you here. I am too. Who closed the door, chat? Who closed the door? Thought of a fun new party game. We're gonna take turns trying to kill you. That's okay. It's a new kind of therapy. It's supposed to help you with anxiety. If we overload your anxiety, you won't be anxious anymore. Oh my god, there's time. Okay, hang on. Hold up. Wait a tick. I'm gonna move this. I think I gotta move this so you can see the time. Time is a thing in this game. Time is the fire in which we burn, chat. Not sure how not doing this with voice actors is affecting the feel of the game. I'm not sure it would necessarily be an improvement with voice actors, honestly. Examine lock. Yep. The locking mechanism doesn't have power. Yellow cable leads from the lock mechanism and into the other room. Oh god, no, I'm not opening my suitcase. Oh, that's what the other note is for. My suitcase combination is 420. Use the interactive reveal button to show interactive objects in the environment. Hold left button to highlight everything nearby. Okay, cool. Good. Look at clock. It's a longo. Cool. Examine In Glass Darkly. In Glass Darkly by J. Sheridan Le Fanu in 3 volumes. Volume 1 London. This is... Chat, this is an entire book. Chat, this is a 456-page note. Oh, I did something. Huh, there's a page missing from the book. Next to it, there's 4 vertically stacked color bars. This is like art? What does it mean? Hey, cool, I did something. Okay, cool. So that was like a puzzle that I think I got a head start on. What you doing, Megan? Oh, I can play the game? What's up, Megan? Megan! I don't want to make you uncomfortable, Emily, but I'm so glad you're here. It was good to see you too, Megan. Play a game while you're playing the game. Puzzle you can only solve if you're stubborn enough to continue. Francine was actually pretty worried you weren't going to come. She said you've been really busy with work lately. You and Francine must hang out all the time since you moved out there, huh? Yeah, for sure. Speaking of which, sorry again that I'm so late. I haven't been in town for a while, so my mom is being needy. Jeez, yeah, I hope she's holding up okay, but mostly hope you're holding up okay. Anyway, we're still waiting on Pete. How's Trippin' treating you? It's going okay. We've been having fun. It's good to see everybody. Everybody seems to have chilled out over the last couple of years. Even Cliff, though he's been a little testy as usual. Disappointed time stops the note menu so we can't just spend the entire party reading. Nature's cool and everything. I think we're all getting tired. I would have been content to sit here and game the whole time. Cliff's been good. As opposed to straight up bad like he used to be. Yeah, he's been great. He's awkward as always. Maybe more actually. But it's been good catching up with him. So I've been humoring me more than usual. Spent a lot of family parties reading. I spent a lot of family parties playing games. Been so long, have you been? Sure has. I mean, the list of updates is short, not a bad thing. Just like I'm still doing the same stuff, working, gaming, having out-of-body experiences. You know how it goes. Out-of-body experiences. I'm not sure I do know how that goes. Maybe they're not out-of-body experiences exactly. What's it called? Sleep paralysis? Isn't that the thing where you're held in icy grip, motionless as being beyond your understanding stares at you through your doorway? No, that ain't it. Anyways, I'm good, is what I'm saying. How's your dad? Fine, I guess. If we just stick to talking about food and movies we like, then it's all right. Like, the only quality time I ever spent with him was watching TV in silence, and I think I'm fine with that. You ever try to play video games with him? Nah, I think they're dumb and too much work. He's not wrong. You guys already went out and watched Proceeds? We went last night, yeah. It was a bummer not to have the whole group there, but it was good. Did you actually see a comet? Nope. I gave my eyes time to adjust and everything. Burned the stars into my retinas. Perseids are supposed to be at their peak this whole weekend, so it's not too late. Not that the meteor shower is actually why we do this. Always would like her dad. He also thinks video games are done. Oh god, I just talked about my mental problems with a stranger. Shut up, video game and not me. Francine and Clippo said they saw one last night. What you playing? This is a game called Purd Mystery. It's a super rare game. It's mostly on unlicensed copies like this one. I'm the little guy with the hat. I'm getting attacked by birds, I guess. They're throwing eggs at me. Unlicensed. There's a lot of dialogue in this. Like, bootleg? Yeah, well, kinda. It's a licensed game. It never got any distribution, so mostly only exists on unlicensed copies. Clone cartridges like these were popular in countries where the major consoles didn't get distributed or were too expensive. A lot of people had no way of knowing there was any other option. The bootlegs were the only choice. So people grew up with these instead of the real thing. Like a divergent cultural history or something. Exactly. I think it's super interesting. Shadows on the Wall are really good. Yeah. They really are. I'll probably play into the game later. Things really flew under the radar, and in the US are mostly remembered as a funny, shitty curio, but there are people like me who are just as interested in collecting them. Hang on a sec. Oh, man. As a funny, shitty curio? Or for preservation, to play them? Honestly, emulating them is always cheaper and easier. Retro collections is usually predicated on nostalgia, like recapturing the feeling of your childhood and getting back to things you feel you lost to time. I feel seen, chat. The truth is, I didn't like my childhood, and I'm glad most of that stuff is gone. So you live vicariously through other people's shit. I'm sorry, I have to do this. I have to do this. It's so... I mean, basically, not shit exactly, but yeah. The only things I'm nostalgic for are things I didn't actually have. Things I wanted but never got to touch, or things I never knew existed. Like this copy of Purd Mystery. I'm excited to be able to play it while I'm here. I get the feeling like that wasn't like... That wasn't like aggressive. That wasn't like toxic. Megan certainly didn't seem to take it that way. Where'd that thing come from? Purd Mystery was just here waiting for me when I got here. You can play it too. Go ahead and give it a try. It's sweet of you to check in with me, Emily. Emily, we should go say hi to everybody else. I'll still be here. Wait, by the way, have you heard the house rules yet? Nope, I just got here. Funny, it feels like you've been here longer than that. The owner of the house left us a big binder of rules you have to follow. They're pretty basic aside from them weirdly specific rules about silverware. Kind of like just the way Emily speaks. I like the dialogue in this so far. Feels very grounded. Only part that really matters is we're supposed to stay out of the cellar and the attic. I wouldn't want to set foot in either of those places anyway. Right. In this old house, tetanus does not sound great right now. There's a bed made up for you in the little bedroom by the study. Take your time unpacking, though. We're not going to be up to anything for a while, so you can get settled in. Gary, where are you going? Gary's leaving. I'm going to talk to Gary while I can. Gary! Emily! I'm so happy you're here. Gary, I'm so happy you're here. How you feeling? I'm fine. Fine isn't a feeling, but I'll take Gary. Gary, don't split hairs. This is a breakthrough for me. Shut the fuck up. How was the convention? I spent 2 days in a hotel room with 8 other people. I slept on a pile of towels under an ironing board. Yikes. Still. I'm glad you're here. Are you excited to get out there and see the Perseids? I guess so. When you're using choice-based conversation, you choose based on an idea of the character or what you would do. These days, I go based on the character. I kind of like, with games like this, I kind of like to get a feel for the character and try to stay in that lane if I can. When I was a kid, I used to choose based on myself. What I thought would be the best choices in each situation. But as I got older, I got more interested in actual role playing of characters. like seeing where things would lead if I just kind of go with their flow. It's like when I was a kid and I would play an RPG where you could make your own character. I would always make a character that looked like myself because I wanted to imagine myself in the video game, right? As I got older, that became less interesting to me than as playing as a different character. You know, as playing somebody completely different, you know? If we choose the wrong dialogue options, Megan jumps into chat and destroys us. Option C, pick what's funniest. I've never really done that. I will sometimes do that on subsequent playthroughs, but I've always like, I don't want to make it sound too grandiose. I don't want to make it sound bigger than what it is, but like the first time I play a game, I really want to see what the creator's vision was. I try not to break things. I try not to flop outside of bounds. I try not to take all the asshole options. Like, I want to see what the developer intended. Because I feel like that's kind of the clearest, most practical view of a game. I think you choose by character. I have a hard time still picking things you wouldn't do. I know that feeling, yeah. Career's vision obviously included being a smartass as an option there. Oh, I know. But I also know from working on dialogue trees like this that there tends to be an option that the developers assume is like the baseline. There's always the option that the developers kind of hope you take, and then everything else. Yeah, basically, Manic. Unless it would limit the penis alien's path to dominance. My favorite is when a character seems like they would say something I really don't want to pick, but I know it's right. Yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm all shaky. I feel like I drank a ton of coffee. But I stopped doing that years ago. Wow, you're pretty into space stuff now, huh? Oh, Emily, I don't know if this is a door you want to open. I have spent a lot of time on astronomy Wikipedia lately. It is a pestilence. Lie. I'd love to hear it. You're right, better not. Okay, so to start out, you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is a Perseid? What we call a Perseids are actually bits of junk that could fall off a much bigger comet, the Swift Tuttle. As this whole cloud of bits that follows it around its orbit, and those bits get burned up in our atmosphere, hence the streaks of light. In fact, some of those little bits have been a part of the cloud for 1,000 years. Neat, isn't it? Think about how it went so far away just to come right back to us again. Gary, we really haven't caught up in a while. Just the nature of limiting scope means it'll usually be a predicted route, yeah. Am I correct in assuming the baseline character devs often expect people to play is role-playing a decent person, not being a huge asshole? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I have a difficult time being an asshole? Yes. Definitely. I think when you start looking at achievements and like breaking down the metrics for games that have a lot of choice in them, I think you'll find that in general, people lean towards the baseline good approach. Like by a wide margin. Any game that's gonna have a morality system, any game that's gonna let you pick a good path or a bad path, people overwhelmingly choose the good one. That's just how it goes. I think there's probably a bit of a case to be made for older games not really offering very compelling like evil path options. Like I'm thinking of everything from like OG Fallout games to Mass Effect and the BioWare spate of games. But yeah, I think there might also be a bit of bias against the bad or evil choices in games just because traditionally they weren't very fleshed out. But I think overwhelmingly more the consideration is a lot of people just don't want to play an asshole. A lot of people just don't want to be the bad guy. They might do that on a second playthrough, but I feel like the vast majority's first playthrough is going to be pretty by the book, really. Hardly ever catch a Percy as the sky sucks in your part of the country. I live in Los Angeles. Like, my father gave me a telescope, and I haven't used it yet because I feel like there's probably no point, because, like, you can't... With all the light pollution here, you cannot see shit. Hate binary moral choices. They're pretty... Yeah, they're pretty disappointing, honestly. I'm sorry, I always go back to BioShock. Whenever the whole like good and evil choices matter bullshit comes up, I always just go straight back to BioShock. I'm like, okay, here's your great moral dilemma for the game. Do you save the poor kidnapped orphans, or do you eat the poor kidnapped orphans? I don't know. You got your pros and cons either way. What makes a man's heart turn neutral? Curious how it goes if you play something like GTA if you're Mr. Rogers, though. I think you just don't have fun. Like, GTA games don't really have, like, moral quandaries in them. You just do the quest. Like, somebody tells you to lock a person in a porta potty and then dump them in cement so they suffocate to death, drowning in shit. You just kind of do it. There's not really, like, a good person out to that one. BioShock Infinite, do you do a racist violence or not? Yeah, exactly. Only viable asshole run I ever played is Planescape Torment. Planescape Torment does a lot of really good nuance. Okay, look, seriously, like we always come back to this, but the pinnacle of this sort of like moral choice, open-ended character building thing is always going to be Disco Elysium. Like Disco Elysium, I mean, Disco Elysium is so nuanced. You can play an oblivious asshole, you can play an aggressive asshole, you can play an unintentional asshole, you can play a well-meaning asshole, you can play a vindictive asshole. Like, there are so many gradients of asshole you can play in that game. And that's not even talking about all the non-asshole things you can do in that game. You can play as a massive communist. I mean, that's really less a choice and more the default. I mean, everybody plays that game as a massive communist, right? I mean, like when communism itself comes knocking, you answer the call. That's not a choice. I'm so full of kidnapped orphans, yum. Ironically, System Shock had the dignity to at least give you nothing but bad choices. Yeah. Really, that's I know it wouldn't rub people the right way. I know there's always going to be people out there. Buster's on point. Buster knows what's up tonight, I gotta say. I know that the whole like true ending, good ending crowd would not be okay with this, but I honestly think if you want to put important choices in your games, they need to be choices with no right answers. They need to be choices where you're choosing between bad options, where you're making the best of bad decisions. Like, I think those are the genuinely really interesting ones. Good versus evil choices are not interesting. It's like, are you playing a good character or are you playing a bad character? BioShock in particular, I've spilled so many words over the moral choices in BioShock, but I'm gonna spill a little more. BioShock really fucked it by making the good choices also the most profitable choices. They weren't immediately so, but if you were consistent with picking the good options, you got way more good shit than if you picked the bad options. Basically making it pointless to choose the bad options unless you were trying to get like a specific achievement or something. And that is the wrong way to do it. If you are going to do a binary moral system in your game, your characters need to benefit materially from the bad answer. And honestly, they should probably suffer for the good one. Like, you really need to test their morality if you want to do a morality system. You know, there should be no benefit to choosing the good option. Exactly. Like in life. This is why we have an entire system of morals. This is why ethics is like such a huge topic, an entire, you know, division of scholarship, is because doing the right thing in real life is usually constitutes a sacrifice. People make bad decisions, morally unacceptable decisions, because it's the path of least resistance. And that tends to not get reflected in games. It's why all these choices that matter games fall so incredibly flat. There's choices don't matter. You either pick the right option or the wrong option. All this would make the Nier games really compelling. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Alpha Protocol was also good about having no right choices, or more like no wrong choices. You earn perks and other mechanical benefits for making people hate you, just as if you made them. The little bit of Alpha Protocol I played, I remember that, and it did it well. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's kind of what you got to do. You either need, if you're gonna have a morality system, there needs to be an incentive to be bad, because, I mean, really, people generally. I know it's hard to believe this in the present era and everything we see on the news and stuff, but people do honestly tend towards good unless tempted. It's that temptation. It's that it's the promise of material benefit that leads people to evil. And that just tends to not be reflected in games. Otherwise, give options with no right answer that let people do what they want to do, that let people expand the tail of their character in the direction they want to do it, you know? All right, chat, I'm out. If you make me imbibe again, it's just gonna be water, so. No obvious benefit, or make the benefit more down the line. Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of moral choices is still an exploration of morality. I like that. Witcher 1 also tried to do that with some choices. Not all of them. You'd have a number where you might get an immediate benefit, but get a problem for it later. See, that I like. Take the bad option, get an immediate benefit. You think you made out like a bandit, and then like an hour or two down the line, like, karma just claps back. That's the way it should be. Anyway, chat, video game. We haven't caught up in a while now that things have actually changed, and that's mostly a good thing. I'm still noodling around in Illustrator all day at the Glove Factory and hanging with Megan and Cliff a bunch. Life is pretty good. Never occurred to me until this moment that there was a Glove Factory and people had to work at it. Let's learn more about the Glove Factory, chat. Are things good there? Dude, things are great at the Glove Factory. They're starting to branch out into like hospital clothes, and R&D keeps me at a distance, but I've been hearing rumors about doggy shoes. Doggy shoes? Playing Grey Dwarf from Baldur's Gate 3 is great because the game is like, what if situationally appropriate reason to be a complete asshole? Nier would probably make a good Doom stream, something that wouldn't normally be played here, but a compelling niche of a game. I could see that. That would be a good way to get it on the channel, because yeah, I have trouble thinking that I would pick that one of my own volition. Not because it's a bad game or anything, but just everything I've heard about it makes it seem like it might be a lot. Kitten mittens. Doggy shoes. It's an exciting time. Anyway, things are good. I was out the other night with some friends. We went to dive bar near to low-key celebrate my pal Ashley's lizard's birthday. He drank too much. And does it mean actual like pet lizard or their penis? Because Ashley is a gender-neutral name. I've known men named Ashley. We've all watched Gone with the Wind, right? We know how this works. Anyway, point is, could be his penis. We drank too much in honor of the little bastard and ended up it still could be his penis. And ended up one of those touristy pick and mix candy shops, which is not a good thing for a drunk person to have access to. You just get too excited and start grabbing all the things you loved as a kid, and then you realize the gummy cola bottles suck, and it's like, why did I get so many of these? Anyway, yeah, Ash Williams and Ashley, there you go. Pretty dumb fun, but fun nonetheless. You doing anything exciting lately? Went to breakfast with Laura last week. Fun! I guess we don't like Laura, huh? It's true, gummy cola bottles do suck. Isn't that the most tragic thing? You get older and you realize the candy that you ate as a kid was kind of garbage and you don't enjoy it anymore. I've had that experience on breakfast cereals, and that was really heartbreaking. So going through the endings, it might turn Oddish off. So Nier, I understand part of the point of the game is to do multiple endings. So I would be willing to go into Nier with that understanding. Assuming we don't just get tired of the game trying to work through all of them. Because my understanding is this is a pretty long game. Still have Haribo Gold Bears. Pineapple Gummy Bears still slap. So I'm not really like, how's game so far? So honestly, I know we're like an hour and a half into the stream, but I think we've made it through like 10 or 15 minutes of gameplay. It's been a really chatty night, and I apologize for none of it. Unrelated to literally everything, because I have brainworms. You suggested liking narratives. Have you considered streaming Umineko no Naku Koro ni? I'm trying to remember if anybody suggested that before, and I don't think so. The best story and the worst stream game. Do it. Do it. I love Umineko, but those are books. Do it. It's a whole book. Nier Replicant has more traditional endings for the endings. Automata is more like chapters and endings, and Dragon Guard 3 is more like a clue but what if type endings. I have suffered too many warnings about Dragon Guard 3 to ever do that one, I think. 10 hours each part? Yeah, I don't think I can swing that. Visual novels are something that we have done very rarely around here. It's definitely something that I would have to work up to. Like, start with a couple one-night visual novels, maybe graduate to something that could be finished in 3 or 4. We will not be jumping into, like, a 60-hour visual novel chat. Like, just... Listen, if you can't stream a visual novel literally longer than the Bible, are you really a streamer? I guess not. This is mostly a joke, unless there's always a chance to be. Gotta shoot your shot. In fact, I argue you're more of a streamer than others. Wow, Vesty. Wow. How many coins do I need to have Oddish stream the Bible? I have this funny feeling we could actually make something of that. Can you... Y'all think my inebriated rants are fun now. Just imagine we cracked open the Bible on stream. Just imagine the things I'd have to say about that narrative. Oddish streaming the New Testament. He won't even stream the Skulljacker novella. I'm not hopeful. Bible streaming fucking... Call me crazy, but this Bible thing might have some potential. Oh, Buster, I feel bad that I'm out of gin now. Oh, you're gonna have to help me hydrate. It's probably wise, though. I do have to go in the office tomorrow. I'm actually be responsible for some people. Eat some ice. The ice melt, I'm so bad. Okay, if there are any mixologists in the audience, maybe you can explain something to me. When I make a gin and tonic, I feel like the ice melts way faster. I don't even know how to save in this game. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, a bomb. Why does the ice in my gin and tonic melt so much faster than in my other cocktails? Like, why do I need so much more ice? I haven't even gotten to the savings. I'm not even out of the... I haven't gotten anywhere in this game, and I'm starting to wonder if I actually am going to get anywhere in this game tonight. I dare you not accommodate my drunken coin usage. I don't even... Look, one drunk person telling another drunk person to use their coins to do a thing in a video game they're only half paying attention to because they've been talking about streaming the Bible is not going to result in anything useful, okay? I appreciate the sentiment, but we could only go so far with this. Level design of Leviticus is not very good. Because you're drinking too slow. Wild card? I can wild card you. I got wild cards for you. Bench. Video game. How's the weekend been going? It's been good. Cliff has been a little clingy. It's been good just hanging out and taking the atmosphere. Not quite like old times. I guess we can't expect them to be. Have you seen Francine much? Megan's been holding up well. Cliff really values you. How big are the pieces of ice? Like they're just regular ice out of the refrigerator. The kind of like half moon ice pieces, you know. This is what goes through the mind of every socially anxious person every time they need to make a response. A lot of chemistry in alcohol, ice, liquid density can affect it. Salt in the drink as well. So gin and tonic. It's gin and it's tonic water. It's water with quinine dissolved in it. Is there some chemical thing going on with the tonic water maybe? Is there something about tonic water that makes ice melt faster? I was thinking like tomorrow night when I make a gin and tonic, maybe I should use crushed ice instead and just like really just fill the glass up and then just fill in the cracks with the gin and the tonic. But I also don't want to turn, I don't want it to like turn into sludge. I don't want it to get like super water. Don't use crushed ice. All right, thank you. Thank you. Got cubes of ice, got orbs of ice, got orbs of ice that are molded like the Death Star. Ooh. You want larger ice cubes, okay. Quinine was anti-malaria? I didn't know that. Getting nugget ice. Ice here. Oh, okay, so I guess I need to go ahead and graduate to fancy. Upgrade my ice. I need to put more skill points in ice, but I'm out. You don't get many skill points at level 40. I gotta say. D&D lied to me. I think I get fewer skill points as my level gets higher now. You know, like a big fat Death Star ice? Okay. Okay. You visit that ice dealer in a drug den for Shadowrun. I needed the keyword my glass. I got all this ice. Where do you want me to drop it? Yeah, in my glass, motherfucker. Into one big cube these days for booze. I probably risk whiskey rocks is that I actually enjoy the mild dilution the ice contributes to the drink. Yeah, with whiskey I can see that, but gin and tonic, I love the taste of gin and tonic. Like gin and tonic itself is so good. It's delicious. I would really like the ice to hold up so as to not dilute it. So I guess I really do, I really do just need one of those big ice balls or something. Oh, I can do that. I should learn how to make that like perfectly clear like cube ice and just stick one of those in there. That'd be super good. Tonic water does all the dilution one would need, presumably. It's surprisingly flavorful. Like, it's not like seltzer. Tonic water has a surprising amount of flavor. Yeah, the big cube. Yeah. My Jewish friend recommends streaming the Bible. Says the director's cut just adds a bunch of extraneous content. My Mormon friend says the... Oh, God. See some cheap large ice molds in the grocery aisle sometimes. No, I'm gonna look up how you make the fancy cube ice. I'm not gonna pretend that I can actually do it here. Like I'm not gonna pretend that I can actually manage that, but I do want to look it up. I think it'd be interesting if it's something I can manage. Wait, what? Tonic, especially Nika, is blacklight reactive? I didn't know that. Just get Death Star ice mold and call it a day. Yeah, I might just do that, actually. No, I didn't. Do I look... I was about to say one of the dumbest things ever. Do I look like I'm sitting here under a black light? And on cue... Chat, somebody needs to stop me. Good excuse to get high and drink in the dark. I'm not an alcoholic and even I know this. Do it, you fucking enabler. What the hell, man? Book of Mormon is a sequel to the Bible, so we could do that in stream too. I mean, this has been very educational so far, honestly. This has been really, really fascinating. I had no, so seriously, yeah, I had no idea that tonic water was blacklight reactive. Yeah. I didn't even know where to get tonic water. Like when we got gin, I was combing the grocery store looking for tonic water. I was so dumb I couldn't find it. I had to specifically look up that it was at this one that my wife was going to, and I gave her a picture of what I was looking for, and she got it for me because I can't shop for myself. Let's do the Divine Comedy and I'll cover everything. Are we kind of slowly circling around to playing the Dante's Inferno game? Is that actually where we're heading? Rouse has it in its mixers section. It didn't even occur to me that there was a mixer section. I was looking at the regular soda section. We're looping back to Blasphemous 2. We're never going back to Blasphemous 2, I'm sorry. I'm not gamer enough for Blasphemous 2. I'm little G gamer. You have to be capital G gamer for Blasphemous 2. Do you have a black light though? I do not have a black light now. I have some LED lights that kind of look like black lights at times, but I don't have an actual black light now. I should get one. That'd be fun. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I shudder to think what you would actually find in here under black light. Probably best we don't pursue that line of thinking too far. Enjoying the light vibe in a moment. I love these lights so much. Like, I really, really do. Like, it's a really fun... Here, let me show you, chat. I don't remember the last time I actually showed you the room. But here, let me give you a little bit of a tour here. Since we're just kind of screwing around. So this is the streaming corner, right? This is where all the magic happens. I got my little cabinet back there and stuff, but I'm just in this corner of this room. Over here, I got my big bookshelf that has all my graphic novels and stuff, and also like old game systems and stuff. You know, it would probably make a lot more sense if I am big in this, so you could actually see what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, game doesn't want to let me out. All right, well, anyway. You're just gonna have to enjoy the little corner stream then. That is the front door of my house right there. It's got a checkerboard pattern because it's covered with construction paper to keep the afternoon sun out of my eyes because that wall faces to the west. All right. Next to that is my fucking inexplicable fireplace that I have in here. And then that is the assortment of hats sitting there on that toy chest that my kids pushed into my room and I never got rid of. So I thought you were in an office or something. No, I'm in this weird vestigial bedroom that my house has. My house is 3 bedrooms, but this third bedroom... Oh, okay, this will make more sense as I circle around here, okay? A liminal ass fireplace. Serial killer lair. So yeah, anyway, this is what I was talking about. Like, I've got a ceiling fan on right now, but I've got the lights strung up over the entire length of the room. Like, they're not just behind me. I literally light my room with these. Like, I have the fan light and I have recessed ceiling lights, and I only ever use my LED lights anymore, day or night. It doesn't matter. So yeah, but that's the extent of the room. That's the far side of the wall there. You can see on the floor in the middle there, that's the Xbox 360 that I use as a doorstop when I open my window so it doesn't blow closed. And then over here, there's Nintendo Power, chat. There's my actual physical Nintendo Power collection. All the colored boxes on the shelf there are my One Piece decks. The actual cards are in these white long boxes down here next to my laptop bag that I keep my Nexton laptop in. And then this bookshelf is also, that's where all of my other books and video games and old game systems and stuff are. And then we circle back around, then we're back to the corner here, and my arm is getting a little twisty, so I gotta send you back the other direction so I don't screw this cable up completely. Oh God, oh Jesus, don't do that. Okay. All right, that's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, cool. And now let me see if I can remember where exactly this webcam sits. I think that's right. I seem pretty centered there. I think that's the right spot. Have you seen the live action? Have you seen? I have not seen the live action. We don't have Netflix. We are going to get Netflix. We are going to get Netflix. My wife has gone from having zero interest in live action One Piece to being really interested in seeing it. She is the one that got me and our kids into One Piece. She is a lifelong fan. She was more than any of us, she was extremely hesitant about live action One Piece. Now she's into it. She's heard enough good things about it. She's heard enough people say it's solid that she wants to see it. So really curious to see my take on it. I'm really curious to see her take on it. But we'll definitely do it at some point. Sooner perhaps than later. Highly recommend as a longtime fan. Want to know other opinions? Yeah, there's no doubt. We'll definitely check it out. Also, I want to get Netflix just so I can watch Castlevania. I've really been wanting to watch Castlevania and Nocturne. Love to know why thoughts. I'll keep notes. I will keep notes and regale you with them once it happens. Like, for the most part, other than a couple choices, they nail most of the characterizations. I've heard that One Piece is the name of the treasure. God damn, Gruntfire, spoilers! Jesus Christ, man. There are people here that haven't seen One Piece. You have to preserve the mystery. Show definitely seemed to be made for fans of the cartoon and the manga. I've heard that, but also the people that I play Madame Star Wars phone game with, a bunch of them that have never read the manga, never watched the anime, have started watching the live action and really enjoy it. I feel like, just based on what I've heard, it sounds like the showrunners really succeeded in making something with a broader appeal than One Piece had, which I know sounds insane, but you also have to remember that One Piece never quite caught on here. You know, One Piece simply does not have the cultural penetration that something like Pokemon or Dragon Ball or, I don't know, even Sailor Moon did, really. And it seems like the live action is actually changing that. It seems like the live action is actually making a difference there. Hot take, best Sanji, you would not be the first person I've heard say that. I've seen a lot of think pieces, and I've seen a lot of comments about how live action Sanji is actually a big improvement over manga and anime Sanji. And I can see why, just by the way they talk about him. Mom asked me to watch more One Piece live action with her. Oh, that's super cool. Basically Hook, for better or worse. I love Hook, dude. I've never watched Hook with like a really critical eye, so I couldn't logically tell you why that movie was a flop or why it's bad or whatever. But I love it. I love it. I also love Hudson Hawk, so maybe don't take my taste in cinema as a watermark for anything, because it's bad. Oof is right, dude. Oof is right. Not really sure why One Piece didn't catch on besides timing. It's a really interesting question, honestly. Like, of the big three at the time, One Piece and Naruto and Bleach, Naruto did really well. Naruto did really, really well. And I think even Bleach did better than One Piece at the time. I don't get what happened with One Piece. I don't really get it. Hook holds up really well. I would imagine it did. It was a really well-made movie, at least. Sanji's too good, maybe is good, but maybe not quite dorky enough. A little too smooth. That's interesting. Keep that Hudson Hawk stuff to yourself. If I was, it's too late. It's too late. Not a roguelike. I have been streaming for over 5 years. The content mine is clearly running dry. I gotta bear it all if I'm gonna keep this going. All my deepest, darkest secrets have to be turned into clips at this point if I'm gonna keep this channel alive. Do you ever find out if anyone won the Nintendo Power Hudson Hawk contest? Ah, shit. I feel like that was way back, actually. I feel like we're past that, and we might have like missed the moment on it. I should go back and check, honestly. Tried all the big anime. I didn't like any of them except One Piece. I actually used to watch Naruto. So this, this isn't gonna really explain anything, but in high school and college, I was in my school's anime club. Needing sleepiness. Good night. Good night, Manic. Thanks for coming out, buddy. I don't think you're missing anything for the rest of the night. So I wasn't just a member, I was also the president. But that explains a lot about you. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. We watched all kinds. I've watched tons of anime across these, and like Rurouni Kenshin and Nadesco and Escaflowne and Evangelion and Bubblegum Crisis and just fucking everything. Just all kinds of shit, right? We tried One Piece. And when I first saw One Piece, I wasn't into it. It felt too goofy. I fear I was probably one of those anime fans that took themselves too seriously. And I kind of wonder if maybe you could extrapolate that a bit to other like Western anime fans in the 90s and early aughts. Maybe they took themselves too seriously for One Piece to really make an impact, because it does start out very goofy. And yeah, there's serious story beats with the characters' backstories and stuff. And certainly if you make it through East Blue, if you make it through that initial arc where it sets up like the first 5 members of the crew, I mean, there's a lot of good drama and really solid stuff. But I think just like first blush, first impression, it just doesn't quite hit right for what American audiences were primed for people who are brought up on shit like Dragon Ball Z, you know? Maybe if OG Dragon Ball had spread further and wider here, maybe if more people had watched Sailor Moon. But then again, I was a big fan of Sailor Moon, and it just, like, One Piece still didn't hit right for me either. I think so. It's one of those things that does better with the general audience than core anime fans that just didn't get that general audience exposure. Yeah, that's true. Still never watched Sailor Moon. Fix that. Sailor Moon is great. I watched Sailor Moon a couple years ago with my girls, and it held up, and they loved it. They actually ended up watching more than I did. They watched everything. I only watched what made it onto syndicated TV in the States. They watched everything, and they loved it. One Piece's censorship is also an added layer. Oh God, yeah. So I was being part of an established anime club. We got fan subbed VHSs that we watched. But oh my God, if your first exposure to One Piece was the 4Kids dub, rip to your interest. Like Lollipop Sanji, yeah, that was never gonna work. Never. Sailor Moon is better gender, not that it's good. I mean, it's all right. It's fine. Yeah, 4Kids did a ton of damage in One Piece, yeah. I think they're still suffering for that, honestly. I think it just didn't have the patience for shonen and annoying cliches by the time the One Piece came about. One Piece honestly doesn't feel that shonen up front. I feel like you have to get into some later I think you have to get into some later storylines before the shonen-ness really comes out. Naruto always felt more shonen to me. And I don't know, that felt kind of like the appeal. It was like... Just show my whole ass with this one. When I started watching Naruto, it felt like Dragon Ball Z, except things happened. I learned, but that's it. It had a good start to it. It had a very promising start. I think that's the thing with Naruto. I think Naruto had a really good hook. I think it had a really good opening set of episodes. Like, I think I still to this day, like I remember the first episode of Naruto very clearly because it's a great setup for the series. You meet this kid, he's like a total goofy fuck up, except he's legitimately good at the stuff he's trying to do. And he does a bunch of silly shit, and he's got all these complicated relationships with the people around him. And then, like, 2/3 of the way through the episode, a dude gets fucking murked with a shuriken the size of, like, a manhole cover. And shit gets really dramatic, and there's a big fight, and it's super exciting and stuff. And I'm like, yes! Yes, this is all the stuff I want. I love it. And I started watching Naruto. I was super into Naruto. And then I got to that fucking exam arc, and I was like, it's, oh. Just not the patience for Master Roshi type character. No, I totally get that. That really, it should be an artifact of a bygone era, and it isn't, sadly. I doubt how much effect we also had an outdated stretch power superhero over here. You know, Peach, I honestly think you've got a point there. I think maybe Luffy compared really poorly to Stretch Armstrong. Like, I think that could honestly be a thing. Because Stretch Armstrong was just kind of like a nothing character, just existed to sell toys. And so you see another character in a series that already isn't quite hitting right for you with the same power set, and you're just kind of like, okay, I don't need this. Dragon Ball Z is about taking it in through the filter of Dragon Ball Abridged. I mean, at this point, I think you just kind of have to know what you're getting into, you know? Shonen anime is kind of... It's its own microcosm of storylines and entertainment, and some stuff just has to be taken in stride. Like, I know One Punch Man is good, but the punch thing doesn't light up your imagination. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Like, if the hook doesn't work for you, the hook doesn't work for you. I really, like, it took watching One Piece with somebody who really, really loved it to get me to love it. I think One Piece has a sort of infectious fandom where it might not be so easy to get into on your own, but if you have someone to kind of like shepherd you into that appreciation, it's a lot easier. I'm wondering what goes through everyone's heads when they think Stretch superhero. Plastic Man. It's always gonna be Stretch Armstrong for me. Like, I grew up with Stretch Armstrong commercials on TV. My friend had a Stretch Armstrong that I watched him dismember the poor bastard. Because he just, like as happens with any child, he pulled on his fucking arms too hard and pop goes the weasel. Thinking of Mr. Fantastic, actually. I guess Luffy is the only successful Stretch Man. Luffy, I guess, would be the most popular Stretch Man at this point. Taking globally, at least. Now that Sony has any plans to make Mr. Fantastic palatable. Stretchy Toy or Mrs. Incredible. Oh, God, that's right, Mrs. Incredible. She was a really fun, stretchy superhero. They let her use her powers in really neat ways. I had to know it was in the arms. I had to know. Luffy also has the most fun with the stretchiness. The evil, not Mr. Fantastic. Oh my God, somebody else who knows Planetary. Holy shit. Hang on. Dude, it's not just me. Planetary is like one of my favorite comics of all time. I love this shit. I love it. You have all of it? I have most of it. Man, I haven't read these in a long time, but yeah, I fucking love this book. I love it so much. Planetary is so goddamn good, I still need to get the last volume. Yeah, I should pick up the rest of it. Nobi? Oh, Nobi Boy? Is that what you're talking about? Planetary is funny to me because Planetary actually got me into the Authority because there's a crossover because Warren Ellis wrote both for a while. Yeah, the Planetary crossover with the Authority got me in the Authority, and then I went all the way back on the Authority to Stormwatch. And that was really interesting to see the evolution there. Main reason I don't have this wasn't out yet when I was collecting Planetary, and it took a long time. It did. Yeah, that last volume took a really, really long time to come back. Professor Impossible from the Venture Brothers. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Got the Absolute Volume 1 a few months ago. Nice. One Piece, please don't make me care about the side characters challenge. Impossible. It really is. It really is. That's one of the strengths of One Piece is they do an excellent job of making you care about all the characters, even the shitty ones sometimes. Like that has always blown my mind about One Piece is like you'll be going through and like in early days you'll meet some dude who's just the fucking worst, just the biggest dickhead ever, just a total douchebag, and you hate them and you just want them to suffer and it's the worst. And then fucking 800 episodes later, you're like in tears because of this character. You're like, oh God, don't let this happen to him. Anybody else, anybody but them. It's amazing. Planetary's Warren Ellis writing extended love letter to the 20th century pop fiction, and he's so good at it. He is so good at it. I know, if I remember correctly, Warren Ellis has done some shitty stuff in the past, and I haven't paid much mind to him more lately as a result, but Planetary as a work of art, as independent from the author as it can be, is really, really good. Been really interested in Fairy Tail for a long time. A lot of people said it sucks, so I thought I went in a bad direction after I stopped watching. Apparently people just meant it's the same good thing over and over. Don't you hate it when people are like that, Peach? They're like, yeah, it got boring, it got stupid, and it just keeps doing the same thing that you liked about it, but other people were like expecting something else or something. It's so dumb. Yep, comics and Godzilla movies and pulps and horror movies and everything. Yeah, hate it. It's comfort food. It's got some of the best treatment of women shown. Yeah, exactly. Don't let people hate all over that. Are you kidding? They were talking about bad fairy tales when you talk about the CW. I like a couple of novels Warren Ellis wrote. Warren Ellis has honestly done a lot of good stuff. He's done a lot of really interesting comics and books and prose and series and web comics and stuff. We were talking about Freak Angels last night. No, it couldn't have been last night because last night was Sunday. Never mind, chat. We're talking about Freak Angels on Friday or Saturday or whenever it was. Transmet, of course. Transmet. Yeah, I like Transmetropolitan a lot. The thing you have to watch out for with Transmetropolitan is the people who think it should be some kind of primer for modern journalism when it absolutely isn't. It's one of those books where people misunderstand the protagonist. Like Spider Jerusalem is not a hero. He is the protagonist of the story, but he's not a heroic one. And I think a lot of people get that twisted. Came out that Warren Ellis was being a creep with regards to women in the industry. Not as bad as most like that, but still not great stuff. Yeah, still not something that you wanna support or be around in any way. I like some of his stuff, but I wasn't shocked. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. Sometimes there's like, yeah, like Warren Ellis's ideas are good, but sometimes the way his characters to relate to each other is a little. A few raised eyebrows there. Lots of trans metaphors in literally all of media. Yeah. Spider's sort of a hero in the sense that he's opposing some really awful people. Yeah, it's like I feel like a cornerstone concept of Transmetropolitan is like pick your poison. Like you support the bad people because they're fighting people worse than that, you know? The whole presidential election arc is basically that, where Spider eventually has to come around on the Beast just because the Smiler is that much worse, you know? And I mean, that's a very salient point for, I mean, any point in history, really, especially for Americans. Like, as Americans in particular, we're always going to be faced with bad decisions, like the lesser of two evils. And Transmetropolitan is really saying, like, sometimes you just gotta buckle down on that. Like, it sucks, and yeah, you should make every effort to change that when you can. But when push comes to shove, when you're up against a wall, sometimes it's just you're stuck with the lesser of two or many evils, you know? And Spider himself plays into that as well. He is an extremely, massively flawed character. He is not somebody that anyone should emulate, but at the same time, like he is crusading for the right thing in a world that just really wants to be wrong. Always been a deep misanthropy in Ellis's work. Is he's adept at making that fuel his ideas. That's very true too. That's very true too. There's always a loathing, you know? There's always this deep-seated loathing in Ellis's work. That's a very good point. And sometimes it feels like that can augur towards more positive influences, like with Planetary. And yeah, in other cases, it's like Transmetropolitan, where you kind of have to lean into the loathing. You have to, and it works with the subject matter too, considering how much the lore is steeped in the stylings of Hunter S. Thompson and gonzo journalism and like all the political upheavals of the 60s and 70s. Like, loathing was a very big part of that, you know? The loathing of what the country was doing to itself and other countries and whatnot. And I think that's reflected in Transmetropolitan. So it works insofar as the story goes, but it's just, it's like any media where people latch on to the heroes, even though they're anti-heroes. Warhammer 40K comes to mind. The human empire is literally Nazis. In a very real sense, they're not meant to be put up on a pedestal. They're not meant to be the good guys. But a lot of people miss that because, wow, Space Marines, so cool. This has been better at most people at matching the vibe to theme. Yes, yeah, I think so. I think that's one of Ellis's big strengths is he can hit the theme really well. And a lot of the time it plays into his own predilections, his own jaded viewpoints. He can make that work. Yeah, Warhammer 40K is supposed to be over-the-top satire, but we know how we nerds get. Yes, undoubtedly, yes. It's a shame, but yeah, some people. I feel like it happens with anything. It really doesn't matter how overtly evil you make anything. It really doesn't matter how obviously you telegraph that somebody is the bad guy. There's going to be fans of him. I mean, look at Star Wars. Look at all the people who are like, the Empire had some pretty good ideas. Wow, Star Destroyer's so cool. Wow, Stormtroopers, that definitely doesn't have any deeper symbolism or symbolism whatsoever because it ain't exactly deep. If it looks cool, someone will like it and defend it. Spot on. Exactly. Yep. You give them a power fantasy and they glob on. Read Orbiter if you want minimal misanthropy. Ooh, I think I have the first issue of Orbiter around here somewhere, and I never got the rest of it. If it's what I'm thinking of. Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd is such a quintessential example of that, yeah. Judge Dredd is like a fucking cautionary tale, and it's so obvious. Why do you want a cop to also be judge, jury, and executioner? Why? Why would anybody want that? This is a disconnect that I have never understood in my entire life. Is why do conservatives who are all like small government, stay out of my life, don't tell me what to do, don't tax me, don't take my shit, don't make a bunch of laws for me, why do they then turn around and watch a cop murder somebody and be like, yep. I mean, I know why, but it's just like, to me, in a vast sea of political cognitive dissonance, that is like the peak to me. I really don't get how people manage to reconcile that. I know why, but it's just, Look at Tumblr sexy man. Maybe I should. Maybe I'd cool down. Some people have trouble with the line between loving a good villain and aligning themselves with the villain. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you see that in anybody who gets too attached to a piece of media, whose appreciation for it begins to absorb it, and their appreciation of the media starts to reflect back on them. The people that will argue with people who don't like a particular piece of media because they feel like criticism of it reflects back on them. I think it's very easy for people to get too wrapped up in things like that. And it's always kind of self-sabotaging. I need to send my boyfriend to bed. I did come here because I was curious about Homebody, but if I don't return for the night, you just know this is a magnificent stream. Oh, thank you, Helveet. I appreciate that. We'll talk about the video game later. We've got more things to discuss, I think. Remember Teacher Goon had to stop teaching Lolita because some dude didn't understand what oh god, really? Oh Jesus. You've got the trade for Orbiter. Starts with an old NASA craft landing on Earth and scientists investigating what's happened to it. Dude, Ellis, the other thing about Warren Ellis is he just has the best hooks for his stories. Like, he always starts from this really, really interesting point of view. You know, even Planetary has this really, really neat hook. Where it's just this weird ass dude, like angry and alone in a diner. And this clearly very powerful woman comes in and is look, we need you. We'll pay you $1 million a year. Come with us, clean yourself up. We got work to do. And he's like, well, fuck it. Better than swilling shitty coffee here. And is off to the races from there. It's such, that one in particular is such a simple hook, but it's such a good hook. And I love it. Orbiter's a mystery is pieced together by NASA scientists is amazing. I think it sounds like I would really, really enjoy that. I should definitely check that out. I think the hopefulness of space is what so many of these tortured, angry, smart people turn to for solace. Sci-fi is hope. I can see that. How else does one experience hope but through proving it with evidence? I think my favorite work of his is Cressy? I don't think I know that one. Cranky old man Planetary gets to kick Dracula's dick off. No, I know, it's great. It's really, really great. Also, welcome back, Shadows of Trash Mammal. I have to be honest with you. We haven't actually been playing Homebody. We kind of got distracted And I guess I drank too much tonight and it turned into a just rambling stream. So it's kind of hard to turn back from that now with only like 40 minutes left in the stream. So sounds on brand. I'm here for it. I'm here for it if y'all are here for it. Got a wee bit, just a titch, just a touch, just a tiny bit. A little, just a little. Reminds me of the idiots that joke Bateman might not be a very good person. For a second, I thought you said Batman. And I guess, like, Batman's an interesting one because I feel like Batman's a really interesting one because I feel like we never should have asked Gary about the Perseus. We really shouldn't have. It was a terrible mistake. We knew he was gonna go off on it, but he just did. Batman feels like Batman is complex. It depends on who's writing him. Yeah. I feel like when Batman started, he was meant to be a hero with all the baggage and connotations that a hero in the 40s would have, right? And then he got silly and goofy and he was sanitized and family friendly in like the 60s and 70s, and that was all fine and well and good. And then when he took his dark turn, once Alan Moore, Frank Miller, once they got a hold of Batman and ushered in, I guess, the modern era of dark, tortured Batman, I think that was the point at which Batman should have stopped being a hero and really should have been an anti-hero. But instead, they've just kind of ridden that line for decades at this point, where Batman is like right on the cusp of being just like an unhinged vigilante, like psychopath. He should have been the Punisher. I think once Batman took his turn in the 80s, I think he really should have gone the way of the Punisher, but he didn't. The hero that quacks in the night. Imagine a rich person being a hero. Yeah, dude, that hits way different in 2023. Like even in the 90s, that was starting to be kind of a weird look. But yeah. Good writers know that Batman is a disaster. Yeah. All the most interesting Batman stories are about Batman being a fucking mess. Because that's what he is. Because what else do you call a fucking billionaire who has a secret cave under his house full of all kinds of military grade hardware and goes out, dresses a bat, and beats up muggers? That person needs so much therapy. There is not enough therapy in this world for somebody with a Batman complex. And most of the comics just kind of save us, Hudson Hawk. Hilarious disaster, dark disaster, whatever, as long as a disaster. Yeah. Fuck Frank Miller, forever my coldest take because I had it for so long. Frank Miller isn't a good writer and just got popular for being edgy and never had much substance. I remember liking The Dark Knight Returns, but I wouldn't go to bat for it without rereading it. Definitely. Lost all interest in Batman, but the world that ripples around Batman existing is pretty fascinating. That's a good point. That is a good point. And that actually links pretty well back to the conversation we were having the other night, where DC seems to be more defined by its villains than its heroes. Whereas Marvel is much more focused on its heroes, specifically. And is basically the same sentiment, yeah? Interesting to you that the reverse has happened. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Shadow's comments falling off. Oh, Lupin the Third, toning him down. Been real back, I think, in more recent times, the introduction of Damian. I hate that Damian exists. Something I love to see around Superman. I like the character find his presence would just warp. How his presence would warp the world is interesting. Yeah. Love Damian depending on who's writing him. Need more comics to recognize capitalism as a superpower, but an evil superpower? Yes, definitely. Definitely. I like darker Batman, kind of hate edgy Superman stories at this point, because with a few exceptions, it feels like most of them undercut a lot of the point. Yes, Superman is really dependent on being the Boy Scout. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. You can get very interesting Elseworld stories out of it, like Red Sun. You can certainly play with the concept of Superman, but for the core continuity, at the very heart of Superman stories is basically an alien, an outsider trying to do his best by a world that sometimes accepts him and sometimes doesn't. You know, and that is contingent on him being good. Space Jesus, you're not wrong. Being the Boy Scout has layers when you understand Boy Scouts, same with Captain America. That's also true. That's also very true. Superman, to me, Superman is the most interesting when it's examining like the enormity of his powers and what that means to his life and his responsibility. Like, I think it was Grant Morrison who wrote the comic about the guy that Superman couldn't save and Superman having to deal with that? Like, with all of his powers, him being arguably the most powerful being in all of Earth and DC Universe, and there was a person that he just could not save. Most interesting for you as an immigrant story? Yes. I think that's something that really should be played up more. You know, it never really felt like that to me because, you know, it's the whole, you know, came from a super advanced civilization, spaceship. He has a fortress of solitude with all kinds of magic crystals and butler robots and bullshit. That really kind of obscures the whole immigrant aspect of the character because he has everything he'll ever need, you know? On top of his incredible, fantastic powers, he also has all this random sci-fi bullshit that gets to bolster him up. But yeah, focusing more on how he relates to other people and how he carves out a niche for himself in the human world. Spoilers for Frozen 2 is also very... It is! Yes! That's a very good point. Yeah. It's so funny how Frozen and Frozen 2 are like opposite experiences for me. Like, I remember watching Frozen being like, wow, this is really good. And then my kids were obsessed with it. And I watched it over and over and over and over again. And every time I watched Frozen, I liked it a little bit less because I'd see more problems with the story, have more issues with the characterization and stuff. Frozen 2 is the exact opposite. I watched Frozen 2 and I'm like, Jesus, okay. Because Frozen 2 is pretty heavy. And I was like, I don't know how to think about this. I don't know how to feel about all this. And then the more I watched Frozen 2, I started to appreciate it more and more. Apparently I need to watch Frozen 2. It is not what you're expecting. It is really good. It's really good, but not in the ways that Frozen was good. It's its own thing, and it really doesn't pull any punches. Once you realize what the story is about, what the story is a not at all subtle metaphor for, you're like, oh fuck. Didn't blow up as big because it's a totally different story. Yeah, totally different story, totally different message, totally different energy. Like, yeah, I'm honestly impressed with it in retrospect. I'm impressed that they actually, like, that Disney execs are actually okay with them doing that. Because it really doesn't, other than like the song choices, I guess, and some of the musical selections, like it still plays with some of the themes of Frozen 1, but not as much. Yeah, definitely. Still a very Disney treatment of the themes, but yeah, it's very good. Shockingly good. Oh man, I'm losing the plot with chat. Most actual iterations of Batman outside of like the Nolan movies actually make Bruce donate extensively to charity, so Alfred could absolutely direct him, but wouldn't have to embezzle. Rich people often give it to charities due to being able to claim out taxes. No, I guarantee you, like, the writers on modern Batman get it. Like they are not ignorant to the fact that like the rich, like the wealthy class, the investor class is absolutely becoming more and more the villain of society. You know, they have not missed the calls to eat the rich. Okay, those have been going on for decades at this point. They're only getting louder, and with good reason. No, I'm pretty sure the writers on Batman are going to do what they can to make him as relatable as possible and kind of downplay. Like, how often can you think of Batman going to big like fancy social functions and really playing up his wealth and like showing off for everybody else? You know, in the Nolan movies, he always used his wealth and these big high society functions as a tool to accomplish something. It was never something he was interested in. It wasn't even something that he wanted. It was very much played as a means to an end. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily excuses anything or really does paint him in a more positive light, but you can tell that the writers are trying. They are making an effort because they know that the rich are the enemies of society. Something I really like about the DCAU Batman is the only adaptation. I guess it's time to have his villains be able to develop or reform. Yeah, that definitely helped. Most of the films kind of suffer from prematurely killing off everyone, then ending with nobody interesting left villain-wise. Funny to me if Alfred steals from Batman who doesn't even notice because his superpower is capitalism. Gary is being so patient with our prolonged rant about comics, movies, and miscellanea. I mean, we give him an inch here, he's just gonna start prattling on about the Perseids again. So he knows what's up. Gary doesn't understand our social anxiety driving us to comics chat. Just too hard to write Batman as a hero. Yeah, I think more and more they just have to ignore that aspect of his character. Let Bruce Wayne kind of languish and really focus on the Batman. I think that's why Court of Owls was created to create a classic and actually exist above Old Money Billionaire. Probably, yeah. I really just want a silly Batman story. Bruce is out as being Batman. Now there's accountability to the executive board about his bat budget. That would actually be interesting. That would actually be interesting if they like, you know, you could do it Batman or you could do it with Iron Man, but like fully corporatize it. Do a whole story arc about the evils of executives and the investor class and how they meddle with and ultimately ruin everything in the quest for unsustainable, eternally increasing profits. You know, now that I'm saying that out loud, I kind of feel like there probably was a story like that at some point. It just flew under our radars. Maybe it was written poorly or something. Maybe it was just part of a story arc that didn't get much play. I mean, I totally forgot that until the Marvel movies, Iron Man was like a B-list superhero. Like, he absolutely was not like an Avengers headliner or anything. He was not particularly popular. And then Robert Downey Jr. put in the work and just made him blow up. Do not judge my gay you. AU, but gay. Know about money laundering, reputation laundering. That's why his surrogate dad messing with him is funny. The thing about Batman is his hero activities are pretty ineffectual. So if you don't change that, you got to play up the relationships. True. Best take on Batman as a hero is is that he does donate extensively as Bruce, but sometimes he got the Joker can't be punched by homeless shelters and job training programs. Wouldn't that be amazing though? Wouldn't that be amazing if you got like a Batman story where like instead of just like throwing money at charities, like he took a more active stance with his investments and like invested heavily in like solutions for like homelessness and drug addiction and like put money back into the city to like kind of like revitalize its economy, help bring wages up and whatnot, and like crime just went away. And like motherfuckers like the Penguin or Two-Face couldn't recruit anymore because then everybody's just like their needs are met. There's no more desperation. You can't get thugs from Skid Row if there's no Skid Row anymore, right? Actually address the causes. Grant Morrison did Batman Inc. at one point, but I'm not sure what came of that. Yeah, I think that was more about having like a Batman organization, like a Batman supergroup, rather than the actual like corporate management angle of it. What if Batman needs a Street Justice Kickstarter fund? Iron Man's Fox cartoon flopped. I didn't even remember there was a Fox cartoon. All I remember about animated Iron Man is that he showed up in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Near the end, I think. Yeah, it really cannot be overstated what Robert Downey Jr. did for the character of Iron Man. And with good reason, too. He absolutely owned that role. He did just amazing with it. Daredevil was pretty good, too. I don't really know anything about Daredevil. Daredevil is one of those superheroes that kind of fell through the cracks for me. Really impressed by everything you read published by IDW. Usagi Yojimbo is a comic I've had on your backlog for years. Is that still going, actually? Villains destroyed by social justice? I mean, come on, right? It's the 21st century. Let's get with the new solutions, the practical solutions. Robert Downey Jr. and Ben Affleck can really sell hopeless rich boy. Yeah. No kidding. Even Batman's original purposes tends to be written in when he's doing the vigilante thing to get evidence on organized crime. That's good stuff. So I hate the idea of Gotham City being supernaturally full of crime. Yeah. I mean, with the way that the comics are written, and especially DC, because I think DC has like, with Batman and Superman, I think they tend to have multiple books going on at one time. So they've got their stories being told from all different directions. It's hard to really drill down and change the perception or the portrayal of something like that, to really get into the nuance of Gotham City and why it is the way it is and how it could be better. Like, they really just, Gotham City just ends up being a black box of crime that just it just produces more criminals as Batman needs more people to punch for action scenes. First season Netflix Daredevil was good, but she stopped. Stan Sakai still cranks out Usagi. Holy shit, that must be a really long running series. Organized crime works around both corruption and a lot of technicalities to guard itself from anything sticking. Even honest law enforcement would have a hard time pinning things on them, but evidence found and turned over by a citizen. If that evidence is sketchy for the court provides a starting point. Yeah. Jessica Jones is triggering, but good too. Yeah, I know they use the Purple Man for that, and that is a boatload of issues. So, as long as they handled it well, and I imagine they did, because didn't they have David Tennant playing Purple Man? Seems like somebody who could actually handle it. And he was phenomenal. Yeah, there you go then. There you go. I love David Tennant in like everything. He seems like just a super cool dude. Get why Batman works like he does with the organized crime stories, less so when he's a general crime fighter punching muggers. Yeah. Batman really requires involved stories. You really kind of have to go deep into the causes and effects of crime, whether it be petty crime or organized crime. Like, Batman's not a very interesting superhero on a superficial level. Like, you can watch him punch a dude only so many times before you really start to question. Gary and the other characters awkwardly staring at each other for hours. Not gonna lie, I kind of relate to the social awkwardness of this Gary convo. Oh yeah, definitely. This game... I shouldn't really try to comment on this game because we've only played like 10 minutes of it, but through the intro at least, I was enjoying the writing of it. Tennant is very cute and cool. I agree. You're entering social commentary with Batman. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. The same could really be said of any comic book character, but I also get that not every comic book wants to take on some heavy issue or work in metaphors for some, you know, social failing of the day. Sometimes you just want to watch a motherfucker punch another motherfucker, and that's okay. It's just, it can't always be that, you know? And some characters Some characters are better for that than others. And Batman, there's just been so much Batman. So much Batman. That at this point, you can't really lean so hard on just punching motherfuckers. It kind of has to mean something at this point if you're going to keep around for this long. Excellent performance of Hamlet with David Tennant and Patrick Stewart you watched years ago. Ooh, I would love to see that. Batman's villains have more obviously interesting threads to explore is the thing. Yeah. I like when Batman is just a slasher movie villain to criminals. That's also a really neat approach too. That's also, like John Wick. I feel like John Wick kind of took up that mantle. Well, for a while anyway. Before he turned into Super Gunman. Which wasn't a bad thing either. But yeah, the portrayal of John Wick in John Wick 1 was like, that's some quintessential Batman shit right there. So I've seen a John Wick movie, someday I will. The first John Wick movie is legit good cinema. It is an excellent movie. It is very, very good. And then the John Wick 2, 3, and 4 are a rather gradual slide into just like hilarious cartoon violence lunacy. And it honestly owns, and it's really, really fun. And John Wick 4 was like one of the most fun movie watching experiences ever. But yeah, you got to be prepared for that. Because there is so much daylight. There is such distance between John Wick 1 and John Wick 4. John Wick 1 being a really, really good movie. And John Wick 4 being a really, really fun movie. If you have any appreciation of good choreography and need to see the John Wick movies, they're so well done. They really are. They really, really are. Helps' most evergreen villains are elements of Bruce Batman taken to horrifying extremes. I can see that. I can see that. I love Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy was always one of his more interesting villains because she had a point. She had a really, really good point. And I remember in the animated series, most of the time, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna murder these pharmaceutical executives who are cutting down the rainforest and like clear cutting stuff to make their drugs. And it's like, yeah, go off, girl. I think you're onto something here. And Batman's just stopping her because like, you can't just like, kill the people. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like those Poison Ivy stories might take on a new sheen in the modern era, really. Animated Story's best Batman villain was Mr. Freeze. How about the animated Batman did the most with the character Mr. Freeze? Because they really punched him up for the series. It's hard for me because like their version of the Joker was just like it was landmark. It was so good, not just for Mark Hamill's performance, but like they had the space to really get into the Joker's head and really explore his character and make him genuinely interesting beyond just being like a weird psychopath. I really kind of feel like it's hard to say any other villain was the best villain in the animated series besides the Joker. Even if they did do a lot with Mr. Freeze, and I mean they had really good story arcs with like Clayface. They did a lot with Harley Quinn. They had some absolutely fantastic one-off villains like Baby Doll. Animated series was a great show, yeah. Liked Harvey being friends with Bruce. Oh yeah, Two-Face? Yeah. The pathos with Two-Face was Thick indeed. It was really good. And see Harley Quinn just being full gay panic the moment she sees Poison Ivy, but also Catwoman, also literally everyone. Oh, man. Batman Returns Catwoman was really good. Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer? Yeah, she was a really good take on the character. Really like the Almost Got Him episode where Croc Almost Got Him is an all-time great. Almost Got Him is an absolute classic of that series. Yeah, it's one of the best episodes, hands down. It's so well done. Just the different perspectives, the storytelling elements, the twists, so good. So very, very good. Mask of the Phantasm is still one of my favorite Batman stories. You know, it's weird. I don't think I've ever seen Mask of the Phantasm, but I know who the villain is, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how I'm not sure how I osmosed up that little bit of trivia. Anime series has such staying powers, like only recently have animated and films pulled away from the animated series kind of stories. Yeah, that was it was landmark in a lot of ways, and it had a huge and outsized impact on the style of animation and animated storytelling for years and years and years. Haven't seen Mask of the Phantasm. I know the spoiler about the villain. How the fuck? Like, how does that happen? What happened to us, Two Hit? I don't get it. A lot of the Batverse has also been pretty mean to Batgirl. Oh, yeah, dude. Definitely. Batgirl gets horribly shit on. Like, and it doesn't even matter which one you're talking about. Whether it's Gordon or Kane or what was Spoiler's name? They all got the short end of the stick at one point or another. It really sucks. My case is because they popped up in listicles before talking about Batman villains. Gotcha. Yeah. Wonder, maybe I saw like a clip of the ending or something on YouTube. Fun fact, Michelle Pfeiffer is so good with the whip in that movie, she was actually better than the stunt double, so they just had her do the scenes instead. That's awesome. Why is Michelle Pfeiffer so good with a whip? Got any information on that? Little factoid? Castlevania brain. You know why? Okay, good. Yeah. I know what I want to believe, and that's what I'm going to choose to believe. Hot take, Halle Berry Catwoman wasn't terrible, the script was. I mean, Halle Berry's a really solid actress. I get the feeling she might be one of those poor souls that just makes really, really bad decisions on which script she takes up. Michelle Pfeiffer's a secret Belmont. There's a difference between those kinds of whips. Not sure I believe you. Unrelated to how much I love Halle Berry. At some point, maybe spoil it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Very hard for even a good actor to save a bad script, yeah. And I will tell you, like, there's really no way for a good actor to save bad direction. Like, bad direction will kill a movie. There is nothing the actor can do in light of that. A great actor can sometimes pull a bit of value out of a bad script, but if a director is directing scenes poorly, there is no recourse. You're gonna get a bad movie. Part of me wants to reread the Archie Sonics comics to see if it goes just as far off the rails as I remember. Riding crop is totally a different technique from a bullwhip. Doesn't preclude her from being good at both, really. Halle Berry seems like the kind of person that just accepts a paycheck, and I respect that. Oh yeah. I'm never gonna give any actor shit for just taking a paycheck. Honestly, I really appreciate the actors that take the paycheck and then just go whole hog on it. Just like fucking devour the scenery on some terrible ass movie. Because they got paid for it. They're gonna enjoy it, goddammit. I love actors like that. I love that shit. Raul Julia playing M. Bison. Case in point. Man was an absolute class act. brought so much energy, so much gravitas to a role that absolutely did not deserve it. Direction is worth its weight in gold. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Bad script could make the worst movie in the world for you, but for Raul Julia, that's a Tuesday. Half tempted to watch the Archie. Wait, there was an Archie series. Are we talking about an animated series that I was unaware of, or like Riverdale? Should have let Willem Dafoe just be more of a demon man in the Netflix Death Note. Oh God, that's right. He was he was, what was that guy's name? Ryuk? I've never known how you pronounce it. But yeah, he was the spirit of death, right? Don't get me started on Riverdale. Did I just open a can of worms here? God, Nick Cage is the icon of sure, I'll take your fucking money. He really is, isn't it? What are you shooting? Fuck it, I don't care. Put me in front of a camera. What's my motivation? Here we go. There was an animated Archie series? Yeah, I missed that entirely. The Archie Sonic comics went places as far as Kid Me remembers even the early arcs. Like, God, I remember an arc where one of the main characters being assassinated and Sonic is framed for it. And some rival character begins chasing him and they have a huge showdown and the character actually wasn't even fucking dead and the arc had no point. Twice a day I've been reminded Death Note exists. It's so funny. It's really funny. Riverdale is literally the product of a superfan spending his entire career to climb the ranks of Archie Comics, produces high-budget fan fiction. Oh my God. I mean, on the one hand, you gotta respect the hustle, right? Not every day a superfan gets to live their dream like that, right? On the other hand, there are no shortage of, say, Star Wars superfans that I would do everything in my power to stop from seeing that happen. So, I guess it really just depends. So insane, it's very entertaining for a while. They managed to subvert expectations every turn, including making the final season play completely straight and boring. What? Really? Fun series up until the point where you see the publisher and writer disagreeing about where the story should. Ooh, yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. That is not going to be a good time. My earbuds just died. Chat, I think we did it. I think we made it through an entire night with no real gameplay to speak of. Good work. Good work, team. I think we've really done something great here. I think we should be really proud of ourselves. Anything I hear about Riverdale sounds fake, but that's also what I thought about Once Upon a Time. We never made it to Kroger. No, shut up. I need to talk about media. Oh, we're not done. We're not done. I'm just saying the possibility, the barest possibility of gameplay has long passed us. Goes from Mafia to dimension hopping to Angels to High, we're in the 50s again. Are you fucking for real? Season with a cult leader who secretly owns a space right. Oh wait, no, I've heard about that. No. Oh God, you just unlocked a memory in my brain. I watched a thing about how batshit Riverdale was. And I remember the cult leader thing. And there's like a zombie plague or something that gets introduced and resolved in like a single episode. And like nobody fucking talks about. Was that Eye Patch Wolf? Okay, then that's where I saw it. If Eye Patch Wolf talked about something, that's where I heard about it. Sorry to everyone who's hoping to see some more. We actually need to talk about this in a minute. I actually am gonna have to talk shop because yeah. Literally goes from cult and serial killers to a very special episode about why you can't use time travel to save Martin Luther King. Oh my God. It sounds ridiculous, so I love it. It's really all you need, isn't it? Time zombies exist? Time travel exists? Oh, Arcane. Oh, Arcane, we have such sights to show you. Sorry for the spoil. No, you have nothing to apologize for. They even mentioned Sabrina and Riverdale, don't they? Don't they actually bring that up? Anyway, chat, there is something I need to discuss with you now that we've made it to the end of the evening and we've accomplished fucking nothing. I was expecting Homebody to be a 3-night game, right? This doesn't count as a night. We didn't accomplish anything. We would basically need to start this game fresh from tomorrow. I'm actually thinking maybe we'd be better off doing some other random shit tomorrow and Wednesday. Well, we didn't even finish talking to Gary. We've talked to like 1.5 NPCs tonight. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should shelve Homebody. Not for any, you know, quality issues or anything. But maybe it's just not, maybe we're just not quite in the mood for it right now. So maybe I should pick up some of those like filler. Yeah, it might not be the moment for it exactly. So we can absolutely revisit this. Yeah. Maybe just we're all fucked up is not the vibe. Yeah, exactly. And also, if I pick some little one-off stuff for tomorrow and Wednesday, that makes it even easier to slip into just chatting if y'all feel like it. Because then I'm not worried about like blowing up the schedule or anything. It's just we won't get to that particular game, and that's okay. But if we do get to that game, so much the better. It's fine. But yeah, I have this game. It's not going anywhere. If y'all want to revisit a spoopy point and click-ish psychological horror game, I've got it. I do love you've been dealing with party lights for like an hour. To be honestly, like sometimes I set my lights to this for the entire day. Here, let me show you. This is the remote for my lights. The vast array of options that I have. And I've discovered that I have moods that correspond to certain lighting. Say everything in my life goes back to moods. What if lights were just vibes? That's my life. That's what I do. When I get up in the morning and I come in here and I turn on my computer before work, I turn on my lights and I set them for the day. So like this whole like everything shifting full colors at a time. This is when I want to do like this is when I'm like trippy unhinged. This is when I'm like anything could happen today. Our stream is going to be weird as fuck. Like all bets are off. It's whatever. When I'm feeling a little bit more structured than that, I do this one. Where it's like, yeah, we're still getting the shifting, but it's happening in very like orderly waves, like just a little bit at a time. This is when I'm like, today could encompass anything. It's a day of possibilities. Like the sky is the limit. Not just pure chaos, but like pure possibility, if that makes sense. Let's see. This one's like, oh, 2DB, dude, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. That is so generous of you. Thank you so much. I guess it really is a vibe right now, isn't it? I really appreciate that. You're a gem. I like the one where Eggman almost was a good person. His robot son Metal Sonic fucks it up on purpose. Oh God, the vibes. So this one is like party. These are my party lights. This is like when I just want to have a good time. When I'm enjoying myself. Now this is like subtle party vibes. This is like we're not going crazy. We're having a good time, but there is a very subtle shifting going on. Almost imperceptible, but it is there. And then we got this one is like neutral. This one is like, I just want to chill. I just want to relax. No big deal. NBD. Like, let's just be. Let's just exist. And then this one is a little bit harsher. This one is like, I'm here, I'm ready. This is like, yeah, this is like purposeful, I think. Too normie for you? Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. I haven't done solid colors in a long time. Honestly, I like the multicolored lights a lot. Let me see. What are the modes? I will sometimes do this one during the day because the flickering is not so intense when there's actual like natural light coming in through the window and the door. But I can't stream like this, unfortunately. And then yeah, I never do the strobe. Somebody, it was Eva. Eva requested this when we were playing Star Trek, and I was like, nope. Bad for photosensitivity, also hilarious. Yeah, I don't want to be hard on anybody's eyes or anything. That's also kind of why I stopped doing solid colors, because here, like, we got pink. And I feel like pink is a pretty warm, energetic vibe that we can do sometimes. Purple's a little bit cooler. I like never use this color for whatever reason. It's kind of more blueberry. And then this blue, this like cobalt blue, I like this. This is like if you want to do like kind of more cool, secluded under the sea vibes. We can go to red alert, we'll have to change the bulbs. I do have a lot of blue tones. I mean, yeah, 15 colors. This remote has 15 colors, and at least 10 of them are cool colors. Because then after you hit blue, then you get light blue. And then you get this aqua tone, which I really, really like, except this one has this weird effect where if you blink, your eyes separate out the green and blue LEDs and it kind of fucks with you. I would set this like all the time because it's a nice chill blue, except it messes with my eyes. And then this one's also kind of in a similar place. And then we're getting on into the greens. This is like the blue green, light green. And then green is, I don't know, kind of bright, vibrant. It's a bit much for the camera though. It's a bit too much for the camera. And then speaking of a bit too much for the camera, I can't really do the warm colors, unfortunately. Because once I get here, you can see the camera starts getting weird. This is why I haven't done orange. Yeah, I get scan lines. Yeah, this is why I haven't done orange for Spooktober, because you get this really weird visual effect. I'm hoping someday. I do want to get a new camera at some point, so that I can use this one as a document camera and have a higher res camera on me. And hopefully one that can kind of handle these. I guess it is perfect for spooky month, really. And then red, weirdly enough, red doesn't have the scan lines, but it's also just really hard on the eyes. So yeah. So what's this game about? I don't know. We never got anywhere with it. We got too distracted, unfortunately. Red is good for a Virtual Boy night. Oh god. Big fucking if there. Should you do more of those colors for the power so you look as vintage for the games? Maybe I will. I got a little lazy with it, I guess, and just started going for all the multicolored stuff and the flashing ones. The color shifting ones. But yeah, we can go back to more solid colors too. NBC talking about nerd stuff says us all off talking about the nerd stuff. I think I was just in honestly, I think I was just in the mood to chat tonight. I was just in the mood to vibe. It ultimately wasn't a good night for starting a game that's as talky as this, I suppose. So I'm thinking tomorrow and Wednesday we'll go something. I'll queue up some stuff that's a little more visceral. has a little bit more going on from the get-go. That doesn't necessarily mean the evening won't end up the same way, but it might have just been a vibe Monday. Sometimes you just have evenings like that, chat, and there's nothing wrong with it. So I think when you're doing a theme month like Spooktober, I think it's easy to get kind of distracted. I've also been thinking a lot about November too, and the stuff coming up that I'm gonna want to be able to do and stuff. I'm feeling a bit like I'm missing some flexibility here, so I think this night, taking a mulligan on tonight to chat and then changing up the schedule tomorrow and Wednesday, I think is gonna help too. Perhaps the real Spooktober is the rants we made along the way. Oh, the person who requested Homebody joined the first team. Homebody. I'll give them their coins back. It's fine. And I would like to stream this sometime. I'm not saying never. I'm saying the opposite of that. I would like to stream this sometime. I think just not right now, really. Not right now. We're not in a talkie game mood right now. Boy, howdy, I can't wait to see the JRPG on Community. Friday, look, Friday is an eternity from now. I'm gonna be in a completely different mood by then. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Anyway, chat, as much as I would love to sit here and continue vibing with you, I do have to go into the office tomorrow. I'm gonna be responsible for some stuff, so I need to get some sleep and be good and all that. So, keep an eye on Discord. I'm gonna update the schedule again. We're gonna play some smaller stuff. We're gonna play some one-off stuff tomorrow and Wednesday. We got plenty of that. I had a bunch of backup games, filler games set, and we haven't needed them at all yet. So we'll stick them in there. World of Horror on Thursday, Kadelka on Friday, Power Hours on Saturday. Yeah, that's the plan, I think. And oh god, oh, that's right. We're still in the game. I need to get out of here. Sorry, video game. Sorry. Bye, video. Oh god. Jump scared myself with my own fucking background. Thanks, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for suffering this. Can't wait to die of sanity loss from World of Horror Night. What's up, Drake? Now. I'm so glad that this is a channel where we can just have nights like this, where I can set out to play a video game, and then just by dint of vibe, just by feeling, we end up having a really good conversation all night. Like I'm very thankful for this. I'm very, very thankful that I'm not constantly driven to like work through this game or that game, or really. I self-impose schedule pressure on myself, but I realize I don't need to. And maybe someday I'll actually internalize that and loosen up a bit about it. But background sums up the stream for what I've heard. I jumped in the background too. Anyway, let me go find somebody to raid. Let's go see what's happening elsewhere. Maybe I'll send you to somebody who's actually playing a video game and you can enjoy it with them. Oh shit, here we go. EOS is playing Visage, which is a game that I am not going to get to, but you can enjoy watching them play it. No, we have video games. Doing fine balancing a schedule and going outside the schedule? I hope so. Anyway, gang, thank you once again. Thank you very much for coming and chatting with me and hanging out. Sometimes it's really fun to do that. You can't force it. I think that's the important thing. You can't ever force a just chatting stream. You can't be like, I'm gonna do this on this day. It has to be a vibe. You have to sit down. You have to have a lot of things on your mind. Y'all come in, a lot of things on y'all's mind, and we just start chatting. We start riffing on things, and we get an evening like this, and it's wonderful. It's lovely. So, but I'm just rambling endlessly at this point, so I'm going to send you on. So thanks again for coming out. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night for some bullshit. I don't know, something. Until then, as always, y'all take care. Bye, everybody.